talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. From parenting to politics to gangsta shit. You want that ordinary conversation? This ain't it. Let's go. What's on your mind? Hope it's the truth. You say you real. Show me the proof. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You say your niggas lying. Let's talk about it. You say your woman lying. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Sit down, let's talk about it. Big step or walk like I got Shaq feet. Sit down and talk about it here with Mac and Norski. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Parenting to politics to gangsta shit. Parenting to politics to gangsta shit. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh, let's go. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Man, we here. We live.
Finally.
And we gotta get here.
They've been wanting guests on the Let's Talk About It podcast with Mac and Oski.
And we gotta guess.
Mac Daddy, let me get it started. Talk my shit better.
Oski, let's go, man.
And we live, man. We actually got a guest here in the building, man. It's my guy, man.
I don't need no introduction.
Oh, he one of those.
I was just talking shit.
Oh, he one of those.
Mook Red TV. You can
Mook
find me on
Red
YouTube. You can find me
TV.
on a lot of platforms, Mook Red TV. I'm a little bit of everywhere, but you can find me on YouTube, TikTok.
He said I don't need no introduction. You're giving an introduction, Mook.
He says, I don't need an introduction.
And
he's Mook Red TV, by the way.
Nigga. Sorry, nah, they don't know what I'm talking.
Nah, Mook in the building, man. Mook Red.
I'm glad
TV is in the building.
It took a
It's
while.
been a minute.
It took a while to finally make it here.
How you feel?
I feel good today. I had an interesting day. I had a jam-packed day.
This nigga said a jam pack.
Hey.
Early as shit.
This nigga right here, man.
It was productive.
Yeah, it's productive.
That's all that matters. It was productive.
I hate the jam-packed days that ain't.
Since you
Facts.
For sure.
and we gonna talk about a few things. I figure we get this song to try.
Bro, I'm ready to get loose.
Oh, hold on. Hey. Sorry.
Niggas ready on the pause alert.
I was on your side earlier with that.
I know. Hey, Mook. This is only the beginning with this
It's
guy.
regular. I don't know what this nigga talking about. It's
He
regular.
don't let
I'm
nothing
not
pass.
nothing.
Sergeant Pauls. Fuck.
You ever been inside a federal courtroom? Nigga, you
Hey, this is T Grizzly, man. This is T Grizzly, man. First day out, man. First day out. We got some shit to talk about, man. On Let's Talk About It podcast, man. With your boy.
Mac Daddy, let me get it started. Talk my shit better.
Oski, let's go, man.
Let's get to
Hey,
it.
how do I get one of them squares?
You had one
How
of
many
this
times
blue
I gotta
one.
come?
Remember when you had them green things?
I don't know.
Three times.
And I could get a square?
Yep.
Say
You
that.
had your song in here.
Oh, no, I'm gonna put it. Let me get it back.
All
Yeah.
right,
I'll get it back.
bitches. My body can't go from Persian to Cody. Any
have the
further
song.
questions, you
Believe
can
me.
take that up with the lawyer. My nigga, right more low project. Joe will tell you every day before school. I sold a half boat. How you think I won best dress with no support? And had them paid lawyers coming in and out of court. Hey, Wando, hey Theo, ain't it a blessing?
He went off on
Made it
them.
out
He-
Kentucky.
When the beat dropped, this nigga go.
And it's crazy because he was already going hard, and then the beat dropped. And then
So I got a question.
Ain't it a blessing? We made it out of Lansing after all
This
that
or the Meek
happened.
Mill
Bitch,
joint?
nigga, after Michigan.
Meek Mill is killing this nigga.
Wait,
All
which
those the
one?
bands they
The
took
intro?
from us.
Yeah.
Joy Road, bitch,
Who
but the money
killing
long
Meek
as
Mill?
6 mile, brick mile, knock your ox down, pick her up, knock her back down, pull her tracks off. Yes, I slap girl, yes, I slap dog, yes, I slap loud, yes, I slap a pussy nigga if he act out. Yes, I caught cases on the road with them killers, bro. Kill me if I snitch, cause if you snitch, I'm gon'
Yeah, cause he was fresh out after doing that B&E shit. He was fresh out.
He ain't reached this level again.
Nah,
I don't think he wants
He
to.
grinding. He make a lot of money off YouTube.
That shit, YouTube.
He makes hella money off YouTube.
I would say he diversified, yeah, but I'm sure he doesn't want to.
he don't give a fuck about
I
shit.
don't think he cares about.
He don't care about rapping no more.
He does.
No,
man.
I'm
He
saying
makes
he
albums.
cares,
He's
but
a-
not
same
like
way.
He's a
streaming.
rapper.
Not the same way.
I think he talked about it on the Wallow shit.
He
Not the
probably-
same way.
He probably don't have
make
the
more
same
money.
desire. But I'm
Okay.
sure at some point that You know, this is what created him.
Started it.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't go back to this.
Crackers holla at me when they sober on parole. I'm a felon. You think I ain't got that blow?
Catching one of these no
He's
more.
not at
He's not
right.
catching one of these. He's not catching none of this on any album of anything he putting out.
Now you're gonna make me go listen to T Grizzly.
I don't give a fuck what you listening to. The nigga ain't gonna catch one of these motherfuckers. He ain't put nothing out better than this.
I don't think he tried.
Why you keep saying that?
Because I think he dove into streaming.
Nah,
This is a whole new wave, and he focused on that wave. No. I think he's just now getting back to music.
I think what we fail to realize is when you get into the league, you may bust ass in high school, you may be good in college, but once you get to the league,
it's a different league.
You got to the league, you dropped 25 your first game, and
your
now,
first year.
You feel me?
I'll give him
that.
More than that.
You averaged 20 plus your first year. I give you that. You averaged 20 plus. Now your second year, you think that album?
You think that album?
I didn't say the album. The song carried
the song. Well, they call singles albums too.
Exactly.
So do you think that single? Do you think that song is only worth a 20-point year?
Yes. 20 plus.
I think a 20-point year won't take you as far as that album has taken him.
Nigga, if you a rookie and you come in and you drop 20 plus,
right?
That's taking me to the next year halfway through.
So how far he been around for how long?
Way longer than this fucking album came out.
So he must have been averaging 10 still.
No. Yeah.
At least.
But what he did was he spread his greatness out. He went from just averaging 25 to going 25, 10, 8, and 3. Now you done got streaming, you done signed other artists, you done doing other shit. I'm not saying you fell off, but you're not gonna get one of these.
All right, that's all I wanted to hear.
No.
The not fall off part.
I
just think he's
you can't fall off if you selling 13,000 copies. And what I say about that is how you getting 13,000 motherfuckers to listen to you.
In this day and age, it's probably not that hard.
What I'm saying is this: you still gotta have a following.
He definitely got a following.
So, and then when you say, "Hey, I can still rap, I can still do this," but if I make more money off of streaming and doing what everybody else is doing, why would I go back to
I just think more people are more interested in this streaming platform.
Why?
With Grand Theft Auto?
Why?
Because Grand Theft Auto is popular. They're interested in the video game, and he's a personality.
He's not the first streamer to come along. That genre been there before he tapped into it.
I don't know then.
Don't get that twisted.
No, I totally agree.
Just a popular name.
Off of what?
Is he the first rapper to stream like
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
So streaming may be his main source of income and what we know him by now, but what even generates his income from streaming is that his notoriety from rap. You know what I'm saying? This is his secondary market, but it reflects directly from his
first
rapping.
Yeah, without the rap career,
He wouldn't have streaming.
career.
It may not be. It may not be as high as it is now. He can still probably
not be as fruit. It may not be. He may have never made it. He may have never got 1,000 followers streaming.
Exactly.
He may have never
without rapping. Is what you say?
Exactly. The rapping launched the streaming, which streaming now takes care of it. So why would I go back to rapping, even though I can rap?
He does rap still. He does.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not. By far, I'm not saying that he is terrible and all that shit. What I'm saying is
he's not going to make another single like that.
Let me interrupt real quick. It's like you're saying because he gained passion for one thing, he lost it in another.
No.
I'm just saying this. Just because he hasn't reached the pinnacle of First Day Out again don't mean he don't share the same passion for music no more.
That's not what I'm saying.
That because he's still creating music and he picked up a new stream of income, but that still don't take away from his musical. He's a real lyric. He's a rapper.
I'm not saying that he can't rap. I'm not saying that he can't put out music. What I'm saying is he won't put out another First Day Out.
But that's two different. We talk about
that's
two
what I'm
things
saying
now. I could say that too, but who knows? Soulja Boy did it.
With what?
What you mean with what? Where y'all been at?
I don't know.
Let's talk about Soulja Boy for a second. Where did he get famous from?
The Yoooooo shit.
What year was that?
It was a long time ago.
And then he fell off.
I don't
know if he fell off.
Soulja Boy never fell off.
When was his last? His
music. He still never top the song that's better than you.
I don't know the last. What song?
Just not too many years. Make it clap, clap, clap was a number.
Not better than that.
Was a number one. It don't matter.
Not better than that.
It don't matter.
Not better than you, nigga.
He won a fucking award for that, bro.
Still,
it don't matter if it was better than you.
Still not better than you. And what I mean by better than you, that is what he's made. That is what he's known for. Is that you shit.
That don't mean that's the best.
I never said that the song wasn't big. What I'm saying,
I never said you said it wasn't big.
No, I'm talking about this nigga. Oh, he said. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
you sleeping on you. I mean, you sleeping on Make It Clap.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, because he made Gucci Bandana with Gucci Man.
That wasn't bigger than
we talking about number ones though. We talking about pinnacles.
He will never be bigger than the song that created him.
You out of your mind.
Okay. You tripping.
All right.
I will move on that
one. Because niggas know him for that. Niggas don't look at him and be like, make it clap. They look at him and say, you.
Who?
It depends. Nah.
10-year-old?
Everybody.
How old was a 10-year-old 10 years ago?
Yeah, man.
Everybody looks at him.
How old was a 10-year-old 10 years ago?
If you know Soulja Boy,
Mac, answer.
What?
How old was a 10-year-old 10 years ago?
He wasn't born.
All right,
so 2000 and what? 12?
Yeah.
You came out when?
Maybe
2006? That's 6 years before a 10-year-old was born.
And you're still going to know Soulja Boy for that before anything else.
Nah, Mac, you tripping.
How many songs do you know that you thrived off of
before you were born?
None. You learn about this music when you get older and you get interested in this lifestyle and culture when you get older. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what I'm saying.
You don't listen to that shit that was
That's not what I'm saying. I said, you said, what would he be known for? He's known for fucking you, nigga.
I'm not saying
he's not known for Make It Clap. You is his biggest shit.
Who's he known?
To us, Matt.
Yes, to us, the older crowd. He's
not
known
to the
for
people
that.
now,
but to the newer generation,
they're known
heard
for clap.
These number one hits.
Clap.
He reinvented himself. He came back out and reached number one.
Clap was fire.
After I want to say,
I'm not saying
that
wasn't fire.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it reached like you.
This is what I'm
now.
saying. This is what I'm saying. That TikTok took Make It Clap to
crazy.
a whole nother level. Let's get
crazy.
that straight. It took it to number one. I think he won.
Does that necessarily make? Okay.
To today's people, yes.
Because we're going to go back and forth.
He brought himself back into relevance by having another number one hit 10 years later. 10
to
years
today's
later.
people, Mac.
Listen, you know how hard it is to get a number one hit?
I know what you're saying by saying he's relevant to the people now.
Yes, he's re-relevant again.
Of course, the niggas in 2003 don't know what the fuck LeBron was if they wasn't born. They only know LeBron now. But niggas know LeBron when he came into the league. You know Soulja Boy for you. That's his biggest shit.
All right, okay, I hear you.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
I'm not saying Make It Clap wasn't.
Okay.
Or any of his other songs.
Okay, so hear this out. Let's go off of your analogy, right? We have the LeBron people who think LeBron is the GOAT, and we have people who think who is the GOAT.
MJ is the GOAT.
Why?
Because they seen MJ.
Facts.
Same relevancy because they lived through MJ's life. That when he was on top of the pinnacle, they was experiencing that. The 10-year-old that wasn't born didn't
give a fuck about
care
that.
about that old Soulja Boy. But the new person comes along, you're gonna view him as the GOAT because you're living life experiences with him
right
as
now.
the GOAT. Yeah. So you will have a different mindset of a person. So if LeBron they wouldn't consider. A lot of the youngins don't consider Jordan the GOAT
at all.
A lot.
Period.
Yeah.
A lot of youngins don't consider Jordan the GOAT.
I agree with that point.
And that's because they experienced LeBron on top for 20 straight years.
I agree with that point, but
it's hard.
You gonna remember Soulja Boy for you?
I don't know.
We remember Soulja Boy for
everybody's gonna remember him.
You couldn't get away from him. That nigga was everywhere.
Yeah, but everybody's gonna remember him for that.
No, everyone don't.
Man.
No one that wasn't born.
Okay.
Did you know a couple years ago?
Michael Jordan. Hey, how many championships Michael Jordan won? Six, right? He won 6. Everybody remember him for 6. But they still know this nigga from dunking from the free throw line. They still know the shoes. It's certain shit that you always just gonna remember.
All right.
You're not just gonna remember that is what he's known for.
How are you gonna remember it and you wasn't born?
the same way niggas look shit up.
You gotta do some history.
You still gotta do research.
People
so once they go back, they go. That's still gonna say, "Oh, the Soulja Boy from this."
The common fan ain't doing that. They not, and it's different. When
Matt, we're probably doing. Our generation's doing research.
Because it was part of our life. We was alive at that time. So why would I do research on this old nigga when I got this nigga right here being the GOAT? He got all these rings and everyone keeps considering him the GOAT. And I get to watch him. There's a different story when I get to see it.
I'm not arguing that. I would not argue
that. Seeing something changes the perspective of everything, right? So when you get to see the greatness opposed to hear stories about it,
fuck that video.
You don't get to know what all the fights he had, the flu game. You don't know what he went through season by season. You don't know.
So it don't make niggas do no history. It don't make no niggas do no
I'm not saying that. It don't give them the same experience. When you experience that with somebody, when you watching him, LeBron year after year, rain on the league. You like, damn, I remember when that nigga was in Miami on top. I remember seeing him in Dwayne Wade. It changes things. When you don't get to see it, when you don't get to see Jordan and hear the stories or watch footage, it changes your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Your perception.
It's almost like us and some people would say Dr. J and the ABA or before MJ.
Their time.
And we're like, fuck no, Dr. J, Michael Jordan.
The older heads do it on the TV now. You got the older heads like, Bill Russell is the greatest. And then you got the other niggas like Jordan.
But then it be niggas that be in there and be like...
But then you got the niggas that like Gilbert Arenas. I wasn't around when Bill Russell. I wasn't around.
Give a fuck about that.
Such.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
I do get that to nip that. I do understand what that is and how niggas can look at it and be like, hey, you know what? I only know him from Make It Clap. I only know this person from this and be like that. I do get that because you can't tell me something about like I don't know nothing about Diana Ross. I wasn't born when Diana Ross, but I still know Diana Ross could sing, and it made me go back and say, oh, Diana Ross and the Supremes. Oh, she wasn't just Diana Ross. She was with the Supremes before.
But it's different.
So it's like,
let me interject real quick. That someone telling you that is different than sitting in your living room during the Super Bowl and watching Whitney Houston blow the arena away.
Right.
You that moment stays with
like,
you.
Oh, Whitney is the best.
She's your GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's true when you look at it because you got to be subjective to know that like, hey, oh shit, this is what's going on.
Yeah, you definitely got to take a step outside.
You have to know. Yeah. Like, oh, you know what? This that. But since you're here, we did play that real quick. We was talking briefly about.
I didn't come on here to argue, by the way.
Hey, move. You are going to get a debate.
Hey, so
you are going to. You wasn't leaving without a debate, bro.
If we can catch all the debates we had, we can hours of footage.
Oh my God. So since you did come on here and we was discussing earlier off of camera, we were talking about first days. Our experiences was different. I did, and we're gonna get to Ye because I really want to talk about Kanye and his views and shit like that. But we was talking briefly off camera about first days, and your first day is different from mine, but still one and the same. And
shit, I ain't got a first day, nigga. But I spent a couple hours and niggas came and got me in a cell. That's about it.
I would say.
So O was intrigued, which then entitled us to have a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
we've been here forever, but
hours.
I wanted to let the people know we were talking about your first day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him tell his first part, but mine was my first day in the service, which is similar, which y'all will see as the stories unfold. But this is just a perspective on the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts per se of what can happen and what you can avoid then, now, and here in the future. But this is a story from somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna tell it his way.
From niggas that been in there. I'm intrigued,
my experience, at least, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All people can do is really we can shed light on situations because it's a lot of, I don't want to say knuckleheads and I don't want to disrespect nobody and I don't want nobody to feel that way, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But it's a lot of situations that can be corrected if they face with the reality. And if you can hear the reality this way, you can avoid a lot of shit. So,
facts.
I'm gonna go ahead and let my man.
I'm gonna stamp that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
you know what I'm saying? Mook, go ahead and finish.
Yeah, so our first days, we was just generally having conversation. And we ended up talking about experiences from in the streets out here, just dealing with different experiences or whatnot. Unfortunately, I ended up in federal prison. So that's my first day. You know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily call it my first day because before this day, I did almost 5 years in prison. I did 3 years straight in juvie. So I've experienced the first day before, and I got a lot of jitters out of my body before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this was a different monster because you're going into a arena with men now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
how old were you at the time?
I got indicted when I was 19. I went in when I was 20. I was the youngest person on a 22-man indictment. So I was a youngin'. I got out of juvenile prison. I did a 3-piece. I got out when I was 17. Right before I turned 18, I got indicted when I was 19 and went in when I was 20.
Right.
So I didn't have much time.
So it was just boom, hit or miss. 3 years in between, basically.
I had 2, a little bit under 3, I think, because I was just about to be 18 and I went in before I was 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So I was
right there. Right before.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
I didn't have enough time to pop a kid out.
So yeah, but like most niggas at that time. So just to give people like a balance of where you would be at that time. So he talking like junior, senior year type shit. Like we still supposed to be in the nest. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like we still
I don't know. Depends the environment we come from as far as nest.
What I'm saying is typically
Gotcha.
right. We've all lived different walks of life.
Facts.
Everybody lived different walks of life. But guess what? We all had an opportunity to do what? Go through the school system, eat free lunch, see different people, go through grades 1 through 12. Whether you finished or you didn't.
That's facts.
These is the principles in every household that we should have been, you know what I'm saying, going by. So at this time, you being, you know what I'm saying, 17 years old,
your life, right?
You supposed to be
going down the normal
you
road.
feel me? Like this, I'm supposed to be playing varsity
years
sports.
of your
This is
something.
You supposed to be dating.
I can tell you that because I'm living vicariously through my son now. I was gonna wait a little, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
so you can see it in how at the same time I'm 17 years old. Like I'm 17.
Oh yeah.
I'm not supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like I'm still, you know what I mean? So okay, continue. You 17.
As a 17-year-old having to make decisions that the average 17-year-old shouldn't be having to make. You know
a lot of kids out here right now.
Yeah, which I know a lot of people could relate because I looked in the eyes of way too many to not understand it as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know it's not just me.
Right.
And I know that I used to make music because I felt like people could relate to me. And I know that that's how I related to somebody.
To people,
yeah. That's
like people make poetry.
Yeah.
It's like people make poetry.
I listened to that person and my thought was maybe they'll listen to me too. You know what I mean? I got something to say.
Facts.
Just like that person told me.
Facts.
I want to pass the message. Nevertheless, 17, I caught my federal case. We all got indicted. I was in CBCF. Not to mention, I caught a state case when I was just turned 18. I was still thugging. So I got out of DYS, and then like I can't even count how it wasn't even much longer because I was 18 for 2 weeks, and then I popped a nigga chain and I went on a high speed chase, the whole 9.
Did everything.
Yeah, got charged with a bunch of felony. We got caught by the marshals, the helicopter. It was crazy. I was 18. I'm 36 now, so this is 18 years ago.
Damn.
I still got the news article.
But you was on some Grand Theft Auto shit.
On some bullshit. Really, it turned into some Grand Theft. It wasn't the initial intention.
But
it
was you like, oh shit?
That's what I'm about to say.
Was you like, this shit's kind of fun? What am I getting myself into? Or we was like, fuck, I got to get out of this situation?
Yeah, I guess that's how we all gonna think once we get into it. Right. And at the same time, you can't get a little adrenaline rush. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, a naturality.
You're supposed to.
Some type of Frankenstein.
Like if you dead inside,
you get that little, like I'm on some bullshit.
Like I might get out of this.
To be honest, I didn't need it. And I made a bad decision that day. To be for real. I was hustling. I was doing half well for myself. I don't remember. I didn't have Mook yet. I forgot. I don't think I had Mook yet, but
at
18. I had him at 18, but I was only 2 weeks. But I had him when he's 17.
Sounds like a hell of a 2 weeks, by the way. But hey.
I was only 18, but I was out longer than that. I was 18 for 2 weeks when I caught the case. I didn't give myself a chance as an adult. Gotcha. I immediately became a felon.
That's what I'm saying.
Immediately, I never gave myself a shot.
So at that moment, at that moment when. Because like I said,
this shit could get long. By the way,
that's what I'm saying.
Get to the first day yet.
Oh my God!
This shit could get. Even if I replace the word, it's still gonna sound like. All right.
Hey man, I'm glad somebody else is finally experiencing this bullshit.
I broke the remote. I think it was
this nigga probably broke the remote.
Fuck.
Some sabotage between this guy.
Nah,
on the
nigga.
move to the new crib.
He
probably like, like you feel me, like. But to get back on your first day, like, okay.
Let me take you back up. Let me fast forward you a little bit.
I'm about to say, like,
that was the backdrop because I was serving time when I got indicted. That's why I gave you the backdrop of how I became a felon because it affected me later down the road as well. So. Right. I caught that first case, became a felon. I got put on probation, which was a case that I should have never became a felon. I had a high publicized lawyer out here, Jack Bradley. He's our mayor now, but he was my lawyer at that time.
Damn, Jack.
He didn't serve me properly because he didn't protect my best interest. Even though I did make a mistake, I feel like more could have been done to preserve my youth, my you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have been a young felon like that. Even though I did make that mistake, and who knows, I might have went on and to catch felonies. But at that time,
you might have not either.
I still got to give me my chance.
Yeah.
I think I should have gotten a better chance than I did because I paid a lot of money for him.
We know how to get him go.
But do you? Okay,
I feel like he let me down in a sense.
Okay, so. My question.
I did commit the crime. I did.
No, we can't go. You can't chill.
Let me stand on that. Let me fast forward because we getting stuck.
Yeah, chill.
Right.
Chill, man.
At the very end of the day, I do stand on the things that I've done. So of course I'm gonna accept my responsibility if it comes down to that.
Right.
Now, once we got to make it to that point.
Right.
We're gonna fight my ass off.
Yeah. You gotta get there. You gotta get there. Die with the lie. Die with the lie.
You're fucking right. Get this bitch to the graveyard, my boy. After the 5 years in there,
what you? Who?
That wasn't me.
I wasn't.
I told you you had the wrong nigga 6 years ago.
Facts.
I told you I was dead when that happened.
Hey, so anyway, long story short, I ended up getting probation. I caught 3 felonies at one time and some extra cases. So I was doing probation or whatever, piss test, the regular shit. I was still hustling. So I was touching work, and it was coming up. Well, this is what he told me. After like 9 months, I wasn't failing a piss test, but he was like, you still don't have a job, and for 9 months we keep finding traces of cocaine in your system, but we can't fail you. So he was like, I feel like you're doing something, but I can't prove it. So I'm like, he was like, so for that, if you're using, I'm gonna send you to CBCF for some help. And what else I'm gonna say? Oh, I'm selling dope? Nah, nigga. All right. If I'm gonna go with anything, I'm gonna go with the user thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a user. That's
so now I gotta
get you help before they get you hurt.
Exactly. So he sent me to CBCF for substance abuse, right?
Gotcha.
I end up in CBCF now, and one day I'm in that bitch, December 2006. January 17th, 2017 is when we got indicted. January
so you went when?
2007.
You went in 2007?
I went in 2006 because I went to CBCF. So I was locked up.
Oh, you just transferred in.
Well, they let me go back to CBCF. Well, I'll tell you what happened.
You was 18?
I was
20.
18. Damn. I was locked up in CBCF. I studied for 1 week. I'm proud of myself about this. I got my GED.
Hey,
right? I put that bitch on the wall forever.
Let's go, man.
Hey, that's me, man.
GED, man. You went in there and did your shit and got that shit. That's respect, bro. My brother did the same shit.
Nevertheless, I was, you know what I mean? Whatever. I was 18 in there just trying to get out. You know what I'm saying? So while I was in there for not too long. I was working in the kitchen and I seen the niggas start. I seen the motherfucking the director and like the deputy director, the two top niggas walk in the kitchen.
Right.
So I'm looking at them niggas like, well, these niggas ain't never. First of all, they don't come out to the back area. They stay in the administrative part. They don't come back really back there for real.
Some orange is a new black shit.
Yeah, they the higher up. Whenever you gonna see him, he's really never got no reason. You got to go through a chain of command to get to
something
him.
Shaking.
And then put 5 motherfucking notes in before you ever talk to him. So nevertheless, I see these two niggas walk in. So they walk in the kitchen. I'm not thinking nothing of it. They walk up. They man, come with us. So one of them is in front of me. One is behind me. We walking out. I'm walking out. And I'm looking at everybody. They looking at me like they seen a motherfucking ghost. Like I killed. Like nigga.
So they know you about to go.
They knew something was wrong. So I make it over there. I see the FBI niggas. So I look. I see why all these niggas. My eyes probably did the same thing. Like
I'm so it's over.
I said, damn. So, but I had the feeling that they was coming. Because the nature of the case, the way things unfolded, I had an idea that they was coming.
Gotcha.
You know, I can break all that down at different times.
No, we gotta bring you back.
That's too long.
Gotcha.
Nevertheless, I ended up. I got indicted while I was in CBCF. They put me in the cop car. This is literally my first time. You know what I'm saying? Experiencing the federal system, anything. So I walked out. I seen the niggas in the motherfucking FBI uniforms. There was 2 of them dressed in the vest. They walk me out there. They hand me over to them niggas. The niggas grab me. They like, they do the little search, pat down. They throw me in the car. One driver and one sit in the back seat with me. He was like, right now, you probably got some things you want to say. I'm like,
nothing to say.
I'm like, man, it gives me the chills right now even talking about it. He was like, you probably got some things you want to say, but you should save it for when you get downtown because you're gonna be in jail for a long time. I was like, damn.
You knew at that moment. You knew like,
damn, I fucked up. At that moment, I knew.
So
it was serious.
So at that moment, you knew like you put on your big boy pants, and at that moment you was like, all right.
Yeah, no choice, probably. You know what I mean? Like
that time, it puts you into a thought process of where your life getting ready to go.
So fast forward. So fast forward all the way to day 1, first 24.
So I got indicted. I ended up in, but it was a process because I had to go to CCA.
No, I just what I'm saying is this:
first day in a joint,
like the first 24 hours where it was like your bid, even though your bid starts while you.
I got you.
Under
Okay, I can give you when I made it to I got transferred out and made it to my parent institution. So that was the story I was giving y'all outside. This is where I ended up at. So I was telling you about. Ended up on the first day, but I was telling you about my dude. Well, I was in the hole while I was in CCA the whole time because there was a lot of niggas on my case that snitched. So it was easier to put me in the hole instead of 19 niggas. You know what I'm saying? So they put me in the hole. They said I was a threat to their institution because I got in a riot in juvenile prison. It was some bullshit. So I got out of there. I did my whole time in there, and one day they designated me. They told me I was going to Maryland. So one day they came and got me out the cell, put me in a holding cell, grabbed up like 4 other niggas from the wherever, put us all in there. One of the niggas that came in there was, my nigga Dirk. He became my friend. I didn't know him at the time, but he walks in, sits in the cage. We chilling. So you end up breaking the ice with niggas. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
This is the honesty at this point is high.
Yeah.
So y'all both, you know what I mean? We just talking amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? So he like, we had small bits of conversation because we didn't know each other for real. So general, we get to we stop at an institution with the wall. That walls was like 50 feet high, bro. I was looking at this nigga like, I hope we don't go in this bitch because I ain't know where we was going.
I'm not trying to go in this fucking castle, nigga.
Hey, we dropped the nigga off. His eyes were so big, nigga. He was getting out that van. It was the penitentiaries. The penitentiaries are different monsters. They got 2 walls. So we seen the walls, and it was we didn't end up in. I didn't end up in the pen. I ended up
10 feet concrete.
What?
Thick. 2
of them with crazy barbed wire, and crazy big gaps of barbed wire, and then a wall. Nigga, this ain't no fence. This is a wall. Whoa. You know what that does to your mental?
Nigga, what?
You put me in a wall?
It's crazy.
I'm already in walls. But anyway.
Oh,
yeah, you in walls, and it's wild. It's wild. That was a scary scene. So I'm just looking at this nigga like, and we just kind of talking without talking to each other. Like, man, I hope you don't go here. I hope you don't go here too. You know what I'm saying?
They looking at each other like, nigga, you see that shit, nigga?
And we was leaving. I was like, whoo, because that nigga got out that van, nigga. He ain't want to get out the van. That nigga was shook in that motherfucker, and I understood why later. Yeah. So anyway, we get out. We go to they drive us in the back of the van. Typically, federal inmates fly Con Air. So, but we didn't travel.
It's the movie Con Air. Shout out Nicolas Cage.
They call it the when you get on an airplane, you got to go to Oklahoma, and then you'll go to wherever you got to go. So that's probably it was a true story. Federal. So all when that's their like depot for you to go to Cali, for you to go wherever. You end up in Oklahoma. I didn't have to go Con Air because we drove right to.
We was right there.
Yeah, we was some hours away. So when we pulled up, they did the whole. We went to R&D, which is it's like where you go when you get admitted, and if you're getting released, you go through R&D. So we get in R&D.
Released and detained?
Releasing, I don't know if it's detained. I probably,
Because ours, that makes sense. That's what it was.
That makes sense.
It was
okay.
Like you going and
because you coming and going. Yeah. Release and detain. So it was that. Anyway, I go to R&D. They end up hitting you in a hole. They don't really tell you where you're going, and they just process you or whatever. It's pretty quick, honestly. You end up in a hole pretty fast. So while you're in a hole, you gotta understand that the politics of the prison. So the way that the prison is ran is like it's real geographical. So you're gonna have a shot caller from different geographical areas in from where the people are within.
Right.
So you got your New York. They call them cars. You will immediately enter into a car, which is virtually a gang, the Ohio gang, because it's a car of your homies where you're from.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? The geographical part of it. So immediately, if you don't claim nothing else, you're going to fall straight into the Ohio car, which has a shot caller who I heard somebody say he hold the key holder, but I never heard that term. I always just heard a shot caller. He's the one who makes the decisions
for Ohio,
the whole car. Right. So it's real political in there because you have a shot caller from every.
It's the basics of life. Yeah, it's really the hierarchy of basics of life
in there in that world because it is a whole different world. So typically, like him or someone ranking high or respected by like the institution and COs, they will come to the hole and talk to you.
Oh shit!
The actual inmate, they'll be like, "Hey, where you from?" Well, the COs and shit already know.
Yeah.
Well, the inmates already know you coming in because you're on the they send this paper out every day at 3:00 and it lets you know all the appointments for the next day. Well, they sit it on the. This is how everyone figures out what they got to do the next day. So if they if you went to the doctor and they set your appointment for next week. You gonna be on the list
for next week.
You're only gonna be on there the day before.
It's oddly strange.
So you'll just be checking the list every day to see if you got a nurse appointment, going to anything you set an appointment for.
Damn.
Oddly strange how
it sounds familiar.
The exact same. All right, same shit, bro.
You get the list of the people coming in the next day. So in the federal system, it go by your last digits. That's how people know where you're from. So my number was 310-721-60. So my co-defendant would be 310-721-61. 310-721-6. No. 310-721-60. 310-73-160. 310-74-160.
That's crazy.
At the end of every single nigga from Northern Ohio is a 160. At the end of every nigga from Southern Ohio is a 060. At the end of every nigga from Washington, D.C. is a 000. At the end of every nigga from New York is a 5-3. So we knew where you was from based on your last 3. Yeah. So they'll know that Ohio niggas are coming.
Did they make y'all? You still had to wear.
It was your number. Yeah. You wore it with your badge. It was who you are.
Because in the military, not to cut you off, but in the military, the number. You had to wear your last name, so everybody called you by your last name.
Yeah, you still
first name.
You still get it's the last name treatment.
People knew who you was. Yeah. Like after a while, it wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? McGee. It would be niggas. C Mac.
Yeah. Facts.
You know what I mean? That's why I say these stories and shit is just.
They sound familiar, right?
It's the exact same shit, except you know what I mean. Except for details and all that shit, but it's the exact same
song.
The exact same shit.
He would come to the hole wherever you at and basically see what's up with you. Where you from? What you got going on? You a Muslim? Was it? I'm here to talk to you pretty much to figure out, because when you leave the hole, you're gonna go to a unit. They're gonna put you in a cell with another Ohio nigga. They'll never cross niggas without.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They won't put an Ohio nigga in a cell with a Pittsburgh nigga with no permission.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it create
that's jail politics, though.
No, the prison.
I mean the prison politics.
The prison abides by that because they only gonna put you in there to get stabbed. If y'all at war, they don't know.
Yeah.
So they'd rather just put you with your own people. You know what I'm saying?
A better chance.
Go into a cell with an Ohio nigga because this is my homie. This is who I. You know what I'm saying? This is my other, in a sense, gang member. We in the same
thing we got in common. We got this in common.
Is the biggest thing.
That's the biggest
thing. The only thing we got in common is the biggest thing we got in common.
And the crazy part is, like I said, our stories is similar. Is like when I was in the military, it was like soon as you saw a nigga or heard a nigga, like you had to hear a nigga. You know what I mean? A nigga wouldn't come out and tell you like, oh, I'm from such and such Ohio. I'm from such and such Ohio. You would hear the nigga talk, oh shit, you from.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a little looser.
Feel me? Yeah. Like it was like, oh, you from, because you know what I mean, of circumstances, but it's like, oh, you from, and that's who you was with.
Gravitate to. Yeah.
You gravitate anybody to Ohio.
Yeah, your homie.
I don't know you.
I got you.
We homeboys. Yeah. I could relate more to you because
I don't know you from a can of paint, but you got OHIO in your shit. So I'm like this. All right, we rocking.
Same token, more a little bit more strict on a stricter level because you don't wander around. You go straight into the cycle.
Where you going?
You know what I'm saying? Fall right into the swing of things. I ended up, the nigga came and talked to me. I ended up going to, or after that, they basically let you out the next morning onto the compound. You straight out. They send you to your unit the next morning. You in it.
Nah, you breakfast.
Ain't no orientation. Ain't none of that.
Nah,
here's a booklet. Figure it out.
The
door gonna pop at 7. 6. Figure it out.
Go eat. Go shower.
There's no orientation.
Oh, it don't even tell you where chow at.
Figure it out, my nigga.
Wow.
Get up in the morning and
your bedroom right there though. Your cell right there.
Go do the rest of that shit.
So.
Damn.
See you later.
No cafeteria, no nothing.
That's why it's essential for that other nigga to come and tell you, give you a
facts. Follow me a little bit first day
of what's going on.
Yeah.
So he came talk to me. I'm from Ohio. Okay, all right, we're gonna put you in a cell. Oh, you gonna go in a cell with another Ohio guy? Bet. Oh, where are you from? I'm from here. Whatever. I go to the unit the next morning. They put me in a cell with a nigga from Cleveland. Man, it's my nigga. I ain't gonna cap. He was a little much for me. Okay, in front, I fucked with him. It was my nigga, but he had me on edge a lot, and I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that type of nigga. I didn't do biz like that.
Firecracker.
Yeah, he was not necessarily. Yeah, firecracker to where there always be something going on
around.
I don't like that. Yeah, and I was my celly, so it was the energy, the environment I didn't like.
You had to ride with whatever was going on.
You had to get up out of there. He wasn't my type of nigga to bid with. I do bid. Bid with a nigga compatible to yourself. Yeah, you
gotta be compatible.
So
how you get out of that real quick?
Situation, I stayed in that cell for a while. You just deal with it.
No, I'm saying so you gotta.
All right, what?
You gotta put something in to get out of that. Yo, niggas, I don't want to fucking be in this cell.
Once you get there long enough, you meet niggas and you can move around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't gotta stay.
I got you.
You can get pulled into a 2-man because they're 3-man cells.
Oh, fuck
they're
that.
They're little too. So it's the bunk bed, and then it's the bed, and then right here is a
2
locker.
niggas shit.
Yeah, 3 niggas in one room.
No, I'm just saying.
It's deep. But they got the 2-mans upstairs. Where it's a desk in there. It was a motherfucking 2 chairs. It was waiting. You could get pulled into a 2-man if you know somebody your first day. If you knew the niggas in the, you know what I'm saying? You might know a nigga that's, oh shit, nigga pull you right up and you immediately start bidding the way he bids. Which is a lot easier bid. Yeah, a lot,
you know what I mean?
Smoother selling. And
more so a nigga come through, holler at you and say, hey, woo.
Yeah, you could chill in there. You got a chair, a desk. It was different. So I remember coming out the first morning and I had this sense of like weariness of like, it's weird to be in a place where everybody's a criminal and you don't know nobody. So I didn't know, there was nobody here from Lorraine.
That's crazy.
Niggas here from Ohio. There's only a couple niggas on the unit. So I'm like, damn, I step out onto the little rail. I'm just sitting there, whatever. Dirty O was my nigga O that I rode up there with. He was in the cell next to me. He ended up coming to the same unit. Oh, right shit. Down to because they usually split everybody up. D2, E1, whatever. Right. So we ended up next to each other. So he come out to the pole. We just sitting there talking. And I don't know if I had a negative in this like energy going on or whatnot because it felt like he sensed it a little bit of my uneasiness.
Right.
So I'm telling him, and he caught on immediately. He was like, I tell him what I just told y'all. I'm like, man, it feel funny being in a place like this. Like I'm not afraid, but I feel too edgy. It feels weird being in a place where
you don't want to make a crazy decision real quick. Like,
it's stressful. Anxiety high as fuck.
Super high. You don't know who's what, what's what, where he's coming from, nothing. I never been here before. I don't even know what to expect at all.
I don't even know how to prepare myself.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm here in the moment.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm here,
but I don't know what's going to prepare myself.
I'm going to go back in this bit tonight and figure this out throughout the week. I'm going to get into my
day by day.
Yeah, day by day.
That's where that
maybe I might go here the next day, try to go to the library next. You know what I'm saying? See where things are. And, some niggas fall right into it, but I was new to the spot. I didn't never experience adult prison. I never experienced the compound like that. It was overwhelming because you got to do everything yourself. Nothing is, they offer it, you have to take advantage of. You set your own schedule, you go work out, you go to work, you make sure you on time to work, you make sure you up. You could oversleep.
Nobody gonna come wake you up?
Hell no.
You could get in trouble for it.
I'm not saying nobody come wake you up.
You don't want to lose your job if you got a good job though. So you want to make it to work because some niggas, I worked in the medical, I made $90 a month and that's a lot in prison. So I needed my little 90. I was like, they fucked up sometimes.
Feel me?
So anyway, I'm long story short, I'm standing on the rail in Dirty O. He like, I tell him that. And he like, man, don't worry about that, nigga. You know me. And just from him saying that, being from Baltimore, gave me a sense of, I finally got somebody. Yeah, I finally, maybe I got somebody to watch me when I'm looking this way. You know what I'm saying? And I felt it within him. He was like, man, nigga. And from that day forward, we was like this my whole bid, bro. Yep. And he was a gangster. Dirty O. Baltimore, BGF member, hardened criminal. Been doing this shit his whole life.
Hardened criminal.
Different from an inmate. He wasn't an inmate. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was a convict. So he was in the system a lot. He did a lot of warring in the state prison in Maryland before they closed. He was in there going through it with that.
Regular.
So he was So I and not to mention he's from Baltimore, and there's a lot of them niggas there from Baltimore. Yeah. So me being with him gave me a one up on a lot of shit. I was still from Ohio, but these are my friends. You know what I'm saying?
So it kind of eased.
It helped me a little.
It kind of eased like.
So you felt cool.
I felt better after that very moment. To me, after he said that out of his mouth, I instantly felt better because I believed him. Like
that's what I'm saying. To me, it's like That's a good thing because I would have been like, "Fuck, how do I believe this nigga?" Like
you don't necessarily have
so I'm glad that it was.
I think we built
a feeling.
I think we built up enough rapport for him to view me as, he knew what I was. He knew I was a young nigga coming into the system.
Yeah.
He knew
he made his assessment already before you even said a word.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gotcha. We ended up becoming cellies. One time I was going to get into a fight with a Muslim, and fighting Muslims in there is different because there's no other gang in the prison system like the Muslim. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. They in every prison, every institution.
It's crazy.
They got numbers.
They convert so many people.
And they really believe in that. They believe in war. They're going to fight for their shit. So there's nothing like getting into it with a
one of them
Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So I had long hair most of my life. So I ended up learning how to braid my hair. So I ended up learning how to braid hair. I used to be in a barbershop, nigga, give me some stamps so I could put some French braids in your shit.
Right.
Like, sit in a barber chair. You never sit in between my legs or nothing.
You want to
pause it?
I ain't gonna
All right, but I ended up becoming...
Right. You know he was finna ask you that question, but go ahead.
At the barber, every Friday we get a chair at the barbershop, the braiders. Right. So them niggas come in, boom, boom, 6 out, whatever you want, 6 out was really good. So there was another guy on the unit, and he was basically trying to learn and he was doing the same type of shit, right? So he was like, I don't know if he was jealous or it was weird. He gave me a weird vibe, and one day he was like, he said something to me, and I ain't really care for the nigga, so I blew him off. Like, nigga, I don't even care to even speak to you for real. Like, you know what I mean? So I didn't even really like him because he was a loudmouth nigga, and he wasn't my type of nigga.
Right.
So I already had a bad taste in my mouth about him.
He was just too much.
So the nigga say, ain't my fault you mixed breed.
Oh.
Right. So at this time, Dirty O my celly, and Dirty O's a Muslim. So for Dirty O to take my back against the Muslims, right? He's a Muslim.
Made me say
it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, facts.
It meant a lot to me because even though it didn't go down, I walked, nigga. I bent the corner. I went straight to. I told him like, hold on, nigga, I'll be right back. I went straight to my cell. Got Dirty O. I told Dirty O, listen, I'm about to go in the cell. It's your Muslim brother, but I'm gonna take him in the cell. I just need you to watch the door. Right. He was like, bet. So we hop out, nigga. We blow down on the nigga. I'm like, what's up? Hit the cell. Like, what you say to me? He was like, nigga, all I said was, hit the cell, man. Cell. You know what you said. Right. So he like, oh, no, I just, get to doing all that, this and that. He ain't want to hit the cell. He ain't want to hit that. Man, I ought to tore him up in there. So
gotta talk this out.
He did his effort. And he, not only that he seen Dirty O was right behind me. So I don't know if that gave him a little bit of frightness or what, because I probably had a lot of respect in there. So he was right there. I was like his little brother. He loved me. He named me Simba because they speak Swahili, the BGF members. So they got a lot of, they all different get a new name, and they have to learn these Swahili books to become a member. So he named his my Swahili name was Simba. You know what I mean? It's the actual Swahili name. I was a young Leo because I'm you know what I mean? I was 20 and I had a way about myself. So that was my dude, man. And I remember the fallout from that was the Muslims was mad at O for taking my side over the Muslim brother. And that's what O put at risk by taking my side, but that's how we loved each other. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me, you know what I mean? He wouldn't let me go down.
He rock with you.
Yeah, I fucked for that from the very end, the beginning to the end. Yeah. He taught me a valuable life lesson one time. He gave me good jewels, man. I hung out with a lot of them older guys, and they gave me the some of the words I needed to hear.
So how does it work when you go in child time? Eat where you sit. So
you fall in line with in there. You gonna fall in line. Your gang gonna have a table.
So Ohio gonna have a table.
Yeah, the car got a table, 2 tables. Depends on how big the car is. Depends on the area you got in the child.
So you gonna go to that table.
You are immediately gonna do everything Ohio. If they got a TV room, that's part of your TV room. Yeah. That's only where you sit. You don't sit nowhere else. Right. You sit there because the Pittsburgh niggas are sitting there, and the Maryland niggas are sitting there, and the Bloods, the Crips are sitting there, and so you sitting on your seat. And when your gang ain't, or when your car ain't in child, nobody sits in your seat. It just stays empty. You walk past the chow hall and you look in there just to see if a nigga sitting at the table.
And in certain tables, like niggas know it's not like the obvious though. Like the shit that's right there. Yeah. Like nah, it's the shit that's
it makes sense that's over there.
Like I said, should nobody be over there where we sit at over there? You know what I mean?
If niggas ain't Ohio, you right. Like fuck you sitting at Ohio.
But that's
table.
But then you gonna respect they shit. You
respect they shit.
It's
I said that. Yeah, like
you gonna respect them
if it's that, I think I'll be.
But along the lines
straight. You know what I'm saying?
Over time, I ended up getting into a situation with the Ohio guys. They didn't like each other. The Columbus niggas didn't like the Cleveland niggas
at all. It's still that way. Yeah.
So it affected the relationship. I think that the car had, and it fucked with the adhesion.
Temperament.
Yeah, the adhesion is kind of broke us, and I didn't like that. So I ended up becoming a celly with two bloods. I ended up getting into a fight with him, but we came out the hole. Politics happened. I ended up circling the unit when I got out the hole with the kingpin. Well, not the kingpin, the shot caller for the bloods of my unit. I ended up. He ended up asking me like, "Oh, I respect what you did. Everything is mutual. Everything's straight. But you ever considered becoming a blood?" I'll never in my life. Not one single day. Not one day have I ever thought, I want to be a blood, my nigga.
I want to be a blood.
Nigga slapped the whole nine. I want to do it. Never one time. Never considered it. And that was the very first time I ever considered being something other than myself because of the nature of where I was at.
Where you was at. Yeah, you was basically conforming to your environment.
Yeah, definitely adapting.
So, got a tricky question, not to cut you. So after, did you become a blood?
Absolutely.
So after you became the blood, you sitting at the blood table, not the Ohio table.
You're fucking right.
A lot of controversy.
I never went.
Nobody could say nothing.
I gracefully bow out. It's respect.
Okay.
They don't respect the bloods regardless.
Right.
So whether you like it or not,
the numbers gonna outweigh.
Don't matter what y'all feel about us.
Y'all
gonna do something about it.
Right. So
where are you gonna take this? You know what I'm saying?
So your first day in. Your first
sounds smooth.
Your first 24
wasn't that bad
for what the fuck it was.
I'm talking about
you know what I mean. Like
it wasn't scary
for your first day in.
Because I had experience.
On your mental side, you was just like, all right, boom, I'm locked in. I'm gonna do what I gotta do and get the fuck up out of it.
Yeah, I was
right.
I remember I was already a jail baby.
You already was like on the jail side, so you was
I know
like,
how to turn it on.
Yeah,
because I've done years, so I know how to turn into bit mode. You know what I mean? I know what is in front of. I got a good idea of what's in front of me, opposed to the
just a bigger tree.
Yeah, it's not that I'm used to this shit because it was still a brand new experience to me. Gotcha. It was that I don't think I had the same mindset as the average individual who never experienced prison or something like that.
It's totally different. Yeah, because you was already kind of conformed to it. You already played that game.
Bit,
you already played that game, so you kind of already had your, bright lights moment.
Yeah, where how to operate in under these circumstances. I've had the idea of it already.
No, ODYS. I mean,
it put you on a different place.
But most of the time when you in there, you thinking about that, and you going, like you said, you going into it's way bigger. It wasn't just hey, I'm about to go here, and we in county or we over here. We in a whole different thing. Your mindset, you know what I'm saying, going in. What is one thing that you would tell, the young dudes that's probably doing the same shit?
And are they going in, or they just saying, "Oh, what's that store for?"
What's that store?
I think I would give my biggest piece of advice in that area to the youngest is you really don't understand what you're gonna be going through
until you go.
What I'm saying? You I ain't gonna say you're not a gangster, and I'm not gonna say you're not gonna go through it with your head up. But you don't really understand what awaits you in there, man. You don't mentally. You don't really understand what it takes to watch individuals lose their mother. Like you watch a man lose his mom. You watch a nigga that you look
kid
up to,
or whatever. You know what I mean?
You watch him break down and cry. You watch his whole life shift in front of you. You know what I'm saying? They don't really understand those things. You know what I'm saying?
So would you tell? Like I tell all the people that, want to join the military and shit like that, like, it's cool and all, but once you get in there, you got to be a whole different person. Like, you got to be a whole different person. You gotta conform all that other shit that you thought about, all that other shit you thinking about.
That ain't it.
Not flying.
I could say you can take pieces of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you can take your general self, but your
you gonna change. You're gonna
experience a lot of shit. And so you may kind of resemble who you were out here still in there. You may still be the same nigga.
No.
You're gonna reflect as a gangster. You still stand on some of the same.
Still gonna be the same principle, but you definitely gonna shed mad layers. Is gonna be
peeled off of you.
Way crazy,
especially if you're facing enough time.
I think that plays a major part.
That changes age. I watch so much like change things, people, and my understanding of this shit. Because like you would think. It just changes you when you see that type of shit.
You stayed in the same spot for the same all five?
Yeah, I did my whole Cumberland, Maryland, FCI.
So if you had to do it all over again, not the bid, or if you could change that moment, would you go left or right?
As far as
the whole, you know, decision, like to be like, yo, I could either stay down this road where I know I'm on some fuck shit.
Well, if I had the choice, I think that choice I made earlier in my life.
That's what I'm saying.
I was already on the road. If I could have made that choice,
I know we all had fucked up circumstances. Whether
I was about to say,
you know, whether it be, you know, parents, parents.
Presented with the
asking.
Opportunity.
Yeah,
I would be a D1 athlete. I would have been a D1 athlete.
That's what I'm saying. If you presented with the choice, because a lot of motherfuckers out here, especially now that, you know what I'm saying, I'm 37 years old. So now when I look at that shit, I be like, damn, me being 37 and me doing some of the shit.
Hold on, niggas really giving their age out here?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Definitely not.
I still get carded. They still card me. You feel me? But anyway, like, well, motherfuckers doing certain shit.
Oh, man.
I only say that to say, like, now that you change, you can go left or right. And if everything played right, you would be a D1 athlete. You wouldn't even go down that path.
I always like to tell people, I ain't jump off the porch. I got pushed off the porch.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? So my experience was more of a necessity.
Necessity. So would you tell people it's not worth it?
Well, that was all I was ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
See, I can't say that because you got pushed off the porch.
Right.
That's not being ignorant. That's almost adjusting to your environment.
Separate those. You putting those two together, but I didn't get pushed off the porch into ignorancy, or I didn't. Ignorancy was.
I'm pretty sure before he got pushed off the porch, he knew that. If I touch this stove, that shit hot. I'm not about to keep touching it.
I cried when I realized I had to do something. I laid in my mom's hallway and cried like the kid I was.
Gotcha.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't built yet. Yeah. So I was still that kid. And when I was thinking of my life experiences at that moment, I was crying. I cried about it because I knew that I got to make a drastic decision. Something got to shake. You know, when you're at that point, like, nigga, something got to give. Yeah, that's how I was feeling.
I don't think at that moment, me, myself, and this is just me being vulnerable and personal, me, myself at 18, 17, 18, I wouldn't have been able to prepare myself to make that said decision.
Right.
I can be the toughest and da-da-da-da and whoop and this, that, and the third, but for somebody to tell me that I'm staring down the barrel of 5, taking my freedom away, and I've never been in that situation, it's almost like, and everybody, I just want to make it relatable, it's almost like going from 8th grade to 9th grade. That shit is totally fucking different. That shit is totally fucking different. You can go to 8th grade, you could be the man, we can play the same, you are that shit. As soon as you go to motherfucking 9th grade, it's like, yo,
these niggas forgot about me.
Like, what the fuck? You feel me?
Absolutely.
Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, that shit crazy. Like, oh shit, from dealing with sports to dealing with teachers to dealing with girls. That's how it is with
it's
life.
The school.
It's the school, like
bigger. You know what I mean?
So when you dealing with something like that, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
At 18, I'm still trying to figure out girls and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So at 18, that don't make me, less of a person or whatever the case may be, or less of I'm not whatever. But I don't think that in that moment, if I was staring down that gun, I don't think that I would. Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
But it's just like I commend you, like to be like at that moment.
Right.
Like motherfuckers don't even at 18 years old, these bitch ass niggas and me included wouldn't even know where I want to go to college.
Right. I didn't know. I didn't know the person I remember before I jump off the porch. I remember myself.
Right.
I remember who I was before I.
What was that person?
A happy, joyous. I was happy. I don't think I don't remember getting mad as a kid. I was the most happiest kid you could find, my nigga. Mm-hmm. I was the most loving. You could come to me. I was always up spirited. I was that little guy, that dude that.
You remember what the turning point was?
Everyone loved me. It was that. It was that.
Gotta go outside.
Experience. Yeah, it was me realizing that I don't get to just jump around on the couch no more. My stomach's starting to touch. And ain't nobody about to feel this.
Ain't nobody about to feel this.
And and my mom moved out. I'm 13. My mom moved out, so
it hit you.
Me and my sister, we just in there. We left in this situation, and it's almost like a conscious decision because I was put into a situation where the decision had to be made. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no going to school.
No, school was out. I dropped out.
Ain't no going to school. How the fuck?
That's crazy.
You go to school. If I gotta put food on the table, that's not my fucking responsibility at 13.
That's why I always tell my son, always like that was my responsibility for you, so you can live out your.
Me and my wife sit back and we discipline our kids different, like our kids, chores and all that, do all that shit. And I get mad sometimes. And I go to work and come home and shit don't be done and this, that, and the third. I couldn't imagine my child.
Right.
At fucking 14, I gotta tell you to, hey, clean this up, do this.
I'm like that too.
You feel what I'm saying?
I was washing clothes like at an early age, like everything.
Our generation grew up.
I had my first job. I had my first job at 13 years old.
Our generation was
my first paycheck was $475.
That's a nice amount for.
I was working at Cedar Point.
Shit, that's a good little
at 13.
Oh, you had a great job at 13.
That's a nice amount of money.
God damn.
I went straight and bought me a Royce Union with the gyro niggas with the pins on that bitch. What? Did I?
I ain't heard that one in a
Royce Union with the gyro. 4 pegs on that bitch. And I was still stealing dice off niggas' cars back in the day. Come on, man. I was 13. So just imagine I'm 13 and somebody else telling me what to do at a job. 5 years later, I get Bookham Dano, and now the state telling me what to do.
Man.
Like at that moment, like, and I'm saying this to say this to the young listeners, like when they listen, like at that moment, like when you in that situation, like to be living on this side of the fence now, what you telling younger Mook? While you in the high speed chase, before even the high speed chase.
What I want to do, even in my days, like I do want to work with the youth because I was one of them. I know what it's like. I can relate to them, and I have a better understanding in life now. So I will probably tell them, I think what I needed to hear was I needed another way out. I didn't know what to do, except for what the nigga in the hood taught me. Right. He could only teach me what he knew to do. Right. So that was just me learning how to grind. I didn't never have a true role model to say, listen. You don't listen. There's other ways to do shit.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? No homo, but somebody just to hold your hand and say,
just go like this, man.
Put your arm around you. Like,
listen, I'm about to show you how to do this shit. Like you cool. You'll be good if you follow my direction. I even buy you some shoes, bro.
It's great. Me and you
from school.
If holding you from school, or hey, you not eating. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do.
I understand you, and there's so many ways to do things now that. You could fulfill a lot of those obligations of those kids without you yourself even having to pay.
To be the person it's certain ways like when I be around some of these kids and I'm very charismatic and I'm chilling with everybody, but it's always some shit that I'll be having to say to these kids. So I feel where you coming from, and it's like, yo, you don't gotta do that. Feel me? It's almost like a Jay-Z line. Hov did that, so you don't gotta go through that.
But I remember I want to dig a little deeper because I remember people coming up to me saying,
so why didn't you listen?
Why don't you change it? Because my circumstances wouldn't change. Even if I changed myself. I was in a rock and a hard place.
It wasn't, but at that moment, it wasn't you.
I was just I was in survival mode. You know
See,
what I'm saying?
I get, not to cut Mac off, I don't really get too personal, but me and you have, it's crazy, a similar story, but I had someone.
Thank you.
I had.
Thank them.
Nah, that shit.
Did they show you the right way?
That's no.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So this is it's crazy. They did not show me the right way. They might feel some type of way. I don't give a fuck, but they didn't show me the right way. I think it was more, they didn't show me the right way, but they had my best interest because they knew what they were getting into, and both of us couldn't get into that situation because both of our ribs is touching. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm doing what I gotta
do. Do as I say, not as I do.
It's like the teacher.
Correct.
Yeah. It's like the teacher.
Correct.
It's like it's like,
even though it may seem a little hypocritical, but I can't allow you to say
no, because we both can't fuck. We both can't be. We both can't be in prison at the same time,
right,
and
it's like, I'm gonna do the wrong thing, but I'm gonna show you the right thing.
Yeah, it's only one person. Only one person needs to make this sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It's like,
because I remember it, like, you know what I mean, like vividly.
That's what Jay-Z said. Well, didn't you say that? What did he
say?
Yeah. You Hov did that, so you don't.
So I remember.
I just quoted that. It's crazy. To a nigga like 2 days ago.
So you don't gotta go through that. I'm doing this shit, so you don't got to.
It's deep. My story's a little bit deeper.
But the good part about that,
as I get older, you know what I mean. But
when you break it down, when you young and you thugging, you doing all this shit, you're not paying attention to where you at right now.
You
in that moment, no.
You're not thinking about none of that shit.
Nah, hell no.
When I'm up fresh from Tillerain and making my way down this, I don't know nobody.
Facts, right?
I have no clue who nobody is. So it's only one way I know how to act. It's only one way I know how to go.
No.
It's only one. That's the only way that gets me able to see the next day. So it's like you get around, you don't know how to act. Of course, it's gonna be different. When you get tossed, you know what I'm saying, in different little situations, you gonna act different. But it all makes you, you know what I'm saying, into one. And if you can get a hold of some kids and be like, hey, bro, da 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 da, woo woo woo.
Hey, you gonna have to just edit this part out. I'm hot as a bitch in here.
But it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? I say all that to say, like, we bringing somebody on who's walked that line on both sides and here to, you know what I'm saying, talk about it on this side. And it's like, you don't gotta make that choice. It's a lot of weird shit going on in this day and age, especially, you know what I'm saying, the times we in right now with, you know what I'm saying, certain shit being said and things going on. But we all kind of got a similar background, similar story, and it leads to a couple ways, either success, jail, or death. And you gotta kind of stay away from two of those things. You know what I mean? So when you got people that can, you know, talk to you like my man Mook here, and we can kind of like push you in a way, like I just want people to listen. This is way for our first interview or first topic. This is way out of bounds. Like we wasn't even. This is all organic.
This is crazy. It was a dope conversation before this, though.
Yeah, we could have caught that.
No, it's not that. It's just that the stuff that we were saying was very.
It needed to be said.
It couldn't. Because I'm the odd, bunch out of. You know what I mean, out of the two. Because I couldn't. Not the cut. You go ahead.
It couldn't have. What we were saying in the garage couldn't have been on this.
No.
A lot of editing.
Way too much.
A lot of editing.
Because I'm with you. I think I tell you all the time. I give you mad props too. Because I'm Muhammad Ali. I ain't going to this certain thing.
Yeah. Right. Facts.
I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I respect you though. If I got some family.
I tried
that
to.
Done that.
When I caught my
that's different though.
I don't know if it was my first state case I was telling you about.
Get me the fuck out of here.
I'll go to the service. You ain't even got to send me to know.
Yeah.
My shit nigga said hell no, they ain't even an option.
To real quick crazy. On my shit, like that's how my shit was. It was like all these people around was dying. Shit was going on, and it was like, nigga, I'm about to be doing the same shit, this, that, and the third. So it was like, oh, you take this L and you go sign up and you do that shit. But when you go sign up and do that shit, they don't tell you right then and there. Like, these motherfuckers is lying to you directly to your face. everything you saying was, and I went in. I was 26.
Right. Oh, so you went later?
I went in when there's no way I would have went in when I was 18 years old. I wouldn't have been able to be. I wouldn't have my lifestyle that I provide.
Let us hear your first day.
So for me, my first day was like this.
Where was you?
I actually
wait. Go back a little further. Mm-hmm. When did you decide to go to the service?
I decided to go to service.
Yeah, what sparked it? What gave you
my nigga Rio?
Okay,
died.
Yeah, okay.
When Rio died,
what was like
4 o'clock?
Army. What, you know what I mean?
4 o'clock in the morning, we get a phone call. It's Marla, me and Simone. We living on East Erie.
You 26.
At this time I'm like 25.
Oh, okay.
Because we build up to going there. Boom. Rio, they called Rio. Me and Rio just was hanging out. I'm like this. The day before that, I get a call. My nigga Ant just got shot in the back up in Cleveland.
Okay.
Boom. A week before that, my nigga Brooks just killed himself in his baby mom's apartment.
Jesus.
So I'm like this. All right, boom. The week before that, my nigga BH, he got killed. So I'm like this. I'm like, okay, these is all people that I
crazy
talk
month.
To. These are all 4 of them, right?
Yeah, what he got from it?
Yeah, this is a crazy month.
I just said to talk to
this is a crazy month.
No, it's a traumatizing.
What the fuck did he do?
Like, fucking month, bro.
So then you
haven't processed one. Not to cut you off. He hasn't processed.
No.
One death. You know what I mean?
Now, mind you, still. Now, mind you, you working. I got kids now. Like all this stuff is happening. So as you have kids, your emotions change.
Yeah.
All this shit changes. Or everything's going boom. So then I'm sitting in the thing, get the call. After that, we just going crazy. We in the crib. It's all going through. Boom. The next day, find out the apartment got like mold in it. I got a young kid. I'm like, yo, fuck. I'm working at the hospital. I'm not selling weed no more. I'm not doing none of this. I'm trying to live straight. Really. I'm trying to do straight and narrow. And 40 hours is not cutting for my lifestyle how I used to be.
And the type of job you had wasn't.
And the type of job I'm working.
No
career. It was nothing. It was like, oh, I'm working in a hospital, chilling. And
all
I had just started
into factors for you to make that decision.
So then I go and I say I'm about to sign up. I end up moving back home with my pops.
Did you think it could help you out financially?
Yeah,
it can help you get you out of some of this turmoil.
It was the discipline. It was the awareness that a nigga needed to get the fuck up away from what he was doing. Because if I wake up every day and I keep seeing it, I threw my phone in the lake a bunch of times, so niggas don't call me to sell them weed and shit like that. So it was like, nigga, fuck this shit.
It's deep.
like fuck this shit.
I have
bro.
a similar.
I turned mine off.
Because it was like
call some of them back. I'll be riding past the lake like I gotta go get that. I had 62 people on that motherfucking phone.
So I'm in that bitch like. So then I end up moving back home with my pops, and at that moment I was like, yeah, I gotta get.
Something got to shake.
It's over with. Like I had my kid and I was like, all right.
You decided like I'm going.
Nah, I woke up the next day and my dad was friends with this guy named Anthony, who he was in the army.
That's right? A good name.
So he was in the army and he would pull up Lincoln MKZ, fresh, crispy. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yo, what you moving? Like, what's going on? He like, oh, I'm in the army. The fuck out of here. He ain't in the army like this. Like you come up, you fresh, you feel me? Like you like
respectable.
Bitches. Yeah, it's different. It's one of those things you see like, all right. Next thing you know, I'm like this. He tell me some shit. I'm on the porch smoking. I look at him. We talking. And that next day, nigga, I got up, went to the office. I'm about to go to the army.
To recruitment.
The next day.
You knew where to go, or you Googled it or something?
No, it was right by my high school.
You already just like, I'm about to go in this.
I was in my hometown.
So you've been Brian past that bitch for the past week or something. Like,
I used to cuss the army motherfuckers out. Like, get the fight going.
Oh, they was trying to recruit.
Yeah, remember that in school?
Well, trying to get you in school. Plus, like, I didn't have the best. I didn't have the best relationship.
Them niggas used to come around. Like,
I had the best relationship with my moms and them. So like, my mom, she's like, nigga, you dumb nigga. Like, you ain't smart enough to go to no college. Woo shit. Yeah. So long story short, yeah.
See why you ain't had them.
Yeah, it's crazy. So long story short, I sign up for the shit. Tell me I'm going. I find out I'm having another kid. I find out I have another kid. I'm
Wait,
like,
so you sign up. They call you back.
Yeah, you sign up. As soon as you sign up, I went to the Army niggas. They was on lunch. I went to the Marine niggas. They wasn't there. I went to the Air Force.
You ended up in the Navy.
Yeah, I went to the Air Force niggas. The Air Force niggas. So
you ended up in the Navy.
You were just trying to get the
niggas
fuck
there.
only nigga.
It would have been the Army niggas. You'd have went to the Army.
Give a fuck.
Wow.
It's out by whoever here. Whoever about to catch this jewel, you gotta be on the block.
If that Navy nigga wasn't in that office, I would have walked out and came the next day and went straight to the Army. Whatever the fuck.
Wow.
This nigga said, I don't even give a fuck.
So he go in there, whatever. I sit down, he talking to me, so he giving this whole little salesman speech. But I'm high as shit already. I already know what time it is. I already know what I'm doing. Nigga, I ain't got nothing. I'm working at the hospital. I'm traveling from da-da-da-da. So I'm like, yeah, fuck that shit. Boom, boom.
Sign me up, nigga.
Sign me up. I sign up that day. They like, all right.
The day
I sign up. That same day I went in there, I signed.
they just give you they don't read you no shit or
They
nothing.
tell you, they swear you in. Hey, you want to do this shit? Ooh, I'm like,
there ain't no
you in there, young?
warning or nothing.
Nothing. So
You may die, sir.
Here you go, sir. Hurry up.
They sign your
What
shit.
you say?
You may die, sir.
You may.
Like-
You may get the fuck out of here.
You know, like,
Hey, we're the small print.
They take no hesitation. They sign you up, boom, when they tell you, hey, you leaving in a month.
Oh, damn.
So I'm like, all right, boom. I'm like, all right, I ain't ready to leave in a month because my kid's not born.
Okay.
Right? So this is like September. Like, hey, you leave in September. I'm like, all right, bet. As soon as September come, I'll just pop on the test. Walk in the office, I'm smoking. They like, man, you can't be motherfucking smoking. We gonna give you 30 days. I don't know when my child's gonna be born yet. Boom, boom. Say like, all right, November, your child's gonna be born. His birthday coming up in a couple days. Boom, they like, all right, boom. He born in November. Like, all right, bet. Happy born in November. I pop on another test. I'm like, I ain't ready. I'm like, fuck it. I ain't going. I'm like, just fuck that shit. I ain't going.
2 months ago.
I'm like, you know what? Damn, I was hella serious. I was
actually started making a little more money now.
Hella serious when I signed
you
up.
went.
Nigga. So then I'm like this. I'm like, oh shit.
That shit done wore off a little bit.
nah, I'm tripping.
Then finally I say fuck it. I'm like, all right, I gotta get clean. I get clean. I finally I knew it was real when I told my job. Like, yo, 2 weeks, I'm leaving. They're like, what? You leaving? Where you going? I'm going to the service. Oh, what? You going to the service? Nobody knows I'm going to the service. Nobody. Simone and the kids know. And the kids is little. My pops don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody in the circle knows. Nobody knows nothing.
That was probably best.
What did you tell him?
I told him, Simone was like, yo, we having a going away party for CMAC.
Damn, nigga. You ain't giving nigga a heads up or nothing.
Because I knew at that moment the way my mental was, how I was around and everybody was, like all I needed was somebody to be like, man, C-Mac, you good?
Yeah,
man, nigga, what, man, everything straight, nigga. Woo,
you be all right. You don't need that shit.
You cool, nigga. You C-Mac. At that moment, that's what it was. So once I didn't tell nobody, I leave. I go. I go to you go to boot camp. You do all that shit. Boot camp. It was the beginning stages of jail. You get there, you got it's the biggest nigga contest. Niggas.
Where you enter at?
I went
coming
to
on a bus?
Chicago. Yeah, you go.
Is it a school bus?
Yeah, it's a big ass charter bus. They come pick you up from Cleveland. Cleveland take you to the airport.
You fly on a regular plane?
Mm-hmm.
With regular civilians?
Just regular civilians.
You got your regular clothes on.
Yeah,
too.
you ain't nothing.
Yeah, okay.
You ain't nothing.
You going to about to go to basic?
Go to basic.
This is the beginning.
Yeah, this is the beginning. You go to basic. They fly you. You fly in.
When they tell you where you going?
When you get there, everybody in the Navy goes to Chicago. Everybody goes to Chicago.
No. When they tell you where you was gonna be designated, like
I didn't know until after
basic training. I think.
Yeah, I ain't know
same thing
because I was on the same ship. They killed Osama bin Laden. That's why I didn't go right away. I was chilling for a long time. Like I didn't go into the Navy and go straight to the Navy. It took me like 8-9 months to get to my ship because they was on a mission to kill Osama bin Laden.
Damn.
So when I finally go to basic, I do all this shit. I go into boot camp. Like I said, it's like you go in there, it's big nigga. Oh, they tell you when to eat. They tell you when to sleep. You do all this shit.
What time did you wake up the next day? The first
day?
Yeah, what happened?
My first day. As soon as I get in that bitch, as soon as I get in that bitch.
Yeah, I want to know.
3 o'clock in the morning?
No, you get in there.
Or did you even go to
give
sleep?
you clothes?
You don't go to sleep. As soon as you get
When
in
need
there.
to take you to your unit?
When you first
back
get in,
up.
So when you first
Don't
get in there,
skip the first
I'm
day.
I'm
You're
not
trying to fast forward.
No, I'm telling you. I'm
gonna
telling
go to the second.
No,
day.
nigga, no. So they take you to Cleveland. They put you in a hotel. They give you a voucher. You eat. You chill. They come wake you up at like 2:30 in the morning.
You probably got anxiety out the ass. Hey,
you don't know where you going.
Sleep.
You don't got nothing. You don't got whatever you got on. You just walk out there with it. You got your shit on. You got your phone and all that shit.
You don't got no bags or you don't need
bags, no nothing. Ain't no
bags.
bags.
You don't need that where you going.
They put you on the bus. You get on the bus. You go to the airport. Everybody gets on a plane and they fly you to Chicago.
Damn.
Get to Chicago. Once you get to Chicago, it's probably like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? After I mean not 2
at the
3 o'clock,
airport?
about 4 or 5 o'clock
Where you
in the
at in
morning. You
Chicago?
at the airport.
Just in the airport?
You in the airport. You at Chicago O'Hare Airport. They
Right.
take you from Chicago O'Hare and they take you to Great Lakes. So you get on another bus and they take your ass to Great Lakes. Now, mind you, by the time you get
Great Lakes?
Great Lakes is the place where naval basic training is. Everybody goes to the same exact place in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So you go there. It's about 2 hours away from the city. Boom. You get there. You go to the Golden 13. You walk into the building. You get off the bus.
Right.
As soon as you get off the bus, you walk into the building. It's like all these officers and chiefs standing at the top.
Watching y'all walk in.
Watching you walk in.
And they do it on purpose?
They do it on purpose. This is all on purpose.
Set up, yeah.
You walk in. So mind you, I'm the tallest motherfucker, one of the tallest people there. I come in, I got a hoodie on. My pant leg is up.
Oh, no.
Immediately.
You're trouble from the go.
Got me. Hey, I want this motherfucker right here. Give me him. This motherfucker right here.
That's how the sergeants.
I'm at the top. Walk in.
Oh,
as soon as I walk
man.
in, light skinned nigga named Chief Miller look directly at me and say, "Hey, I want that motherfucker right there."
Ah, fuck, why me? Hit my head out of like my motherfucking love.
They keep you. Hey, they process you in. They make you do the fingerprint shit. They take all your belongings. They put everything in a box. They do all this shit. They give you uniforms to wear.
Jail.
As soon as you get in there, nigga, they cut your hair. They cut your hair. You sit in. Well, I ain't been to sleep yet. They be like, hey, then they go in there and be like, all right, we about to piss test you. You hold your piss to your ear. You just sitting around. You walking around like this in underwear and t-shirts and socks.
Hold on, what piss say yet?
This is processing. This is just processing. You go piss. You take your piss. You walking. They be like they tell you nut to butt. You this close to niggas like this in drawers and a t-shirt. None of my clothes on. Swear to God.
This shit might be worse than prison.
Telling you, get there. Boom. Once you get there, the niggas that can't
totally
pee,
worse.
they just make them walk around and do weird shit. They just make them walk around until you gonna pee. You finally go pee. You with the nigga. It's a nigga screaming in your ear like, yeah, nigga, you here now. Ain't nothing you can do, motherfucker. Ain't nothing you can do. You here. What you gonna do? You hungry? You want to call your moms? Huh? You can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? This is weird. Niggas corny, right? But I'm 26 though, and I'm from out here. So niggas doing all this weird shit, and I know
It sounds weird, more weird than scary. Hey, watch out, man.
yeah, like nigga, you protected by this shit. Because if I see you, I like you ain't doing
This ain't
nothing.
real.
Boom.
This not real.
So they put you in all these groups, and they put you in all these groups, and they make you go, and then they give you your commissary bag and all that shit, your deodorant, your lotions, your soaps, and all that shit. Give you an outfit, you put the outfit on, give you shoes.
They give you an
on.
army outfit?
No, they give you a t-shirt, some sweatpants, and some New Balance.
Shit you can work out in, nigga, and
That's
run.
on the track.
And then they take you to your compartment. And they count you off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Shit.
you go. So it's me and 88 other niggas. We walking. Don't know where we going. They telling us to find the shit.
It's a little bit worse than Mook's first fucking day.
This is my first. This just boot camp. This just boot camp.
That's
So
a
you find your
bullshit.
shit. You get into your compartment as soon as you get in there. Nigga, what? You get into your
I
compartment.
almost gonna be like, fuck the service.
Nigga,
I'm gonna go with Mook.
Bro, they strip you. They strip all your shit. They make you make beds, and then they make you go to sleep. That's the first day. So by the time you fall late, yeah, by the time you fall asleep, it's like 5, right?
Then they waking you back up. I would imagine.
5 in the morning?
Yeah, it's 5 in the morning. By the time you fall asleep, it's 5. Reveille at 6.
Damn.
Waking you up.
Okay.
So as soon as Reveille go, that's when they feed you.
You know what I learned a big difference is it's more structured and organized. In prison, you kind of just you need to keep up with your own shit.
Yeah, they tell you not now when you get to now.
You know
now that's my
difference.
Now that's my basis in basic training.
Right.
Now when you get to the fleet, totally different.
Yeah, that's more.
So when you get to the fleet, it's a nigga like you that's already there. You just happen to be on duty that day.
Gotcha.
I come to the port deck. And here you is.
Wait,
you like
hold on. Not to interrupt, but now that you mentioned CCA, the intake is more similar to that place because it's a lot more structured, a lot more controlled. You know what I'm saying?
And our shit's called
when you get to your shit, I probably went to my parent institution where I was gonna stay, where he was gonna stay, and it's a lot more comfortable there.
And then when you get to the fleet, you get it's a nigga that come. You know what I'm saying? SH1 Petty. He came.
Did you get some army clothes yet?
Yeah, you buy that shit.
You gotta buy it.
Yeah, you buy that shit. $675 off your first paycheck. Year? My first paycheck was $705.13.
For how long?
No, that was my first paycheck.
How long?
That was a 2-week paycheck.
2-week paycheck.
You got paid on the 1st and the 15th every month. No
so they
slipping.
first paycheck they spanked you for it.
Yeah. But they didn't know. But when you first in boot camp, you don't spend no money because you ain't got nowhere to go. You don't need no money. Everything is good.
So when you get out, what you got about?
So when I got out, I probably had.
How long are you in boot camp?
I was in boot camp for 8 weeks. So in 8 weeks, I probably got out. I probably had like $4,500.
That's more money than you would have made in 8 weeks on the streets before you signed up.
But see, the thing about me was this: I had to pay rent. I had to pay.
He older,
responsibility.
So I already was doing all that shit. So it was like I was already paying shit. So it was like when I got out, the only new thing that I bought myself, I got an iPhone.
So you was saving all your money.
Yeah.
So when you got out of boot camp, your pay change?
No, your pay don't change.
What was you?
I was an E3. Which is nothing.
And when you go to the next rank,
and then when you go to the next rank, you go to I left.
Why you ain't started E5?
Because I had kids and I had college experience.
Okay, and what
so you got paid more actually.
So kids and college experience got you paid a little bit more. And then when you got into the military, you did physical fitness shit. So like if I moved up a rank, it's because I beat this time, I did these push-ups, I did all this, I did that. That's how I got to E3.
So you left from E2.
So I left. I went in E1. Then the college shit, going to college got me E2. And then when I got to the military and would start doing shit and conform to, this is what we doing, it just became athletic shit. Once it became athletic shit, I just became the superior athlete towards everybody, and that's how I got E3. It was running, it was doing push-ups, it was doing all that shit.
You was already hit.
Like, it was like,
so what about E4?
So then when it came to E4, I got to where I was stationed in California.
How long have you been locked up?
At this time, it was 18 months.
Damn, you make E4 in 18 months?
No, I made E4 in 9 months. I didn't count the shit that I see when I went to boot camp.
I said that like a hater.
No, like, it get crazy. It get crazy.
But damn, that's pretty fast.
I was in the military for 6, and for the rest of them years, I was getting paid way more. Like I made second class in 2 years. So I was already shitting on niggas. Like, so second class, like an E4 is like.
What did you do? So you did all the
I did
athletic shit to become?
The E3 got me. The athletic shit in boot camp got me the E3. The E4 when I got in.
E3 coming out of boot camp?
Yeah.
Oh, you was on your grind then.
Yeah, a lot of people come out like that?
No.
Okay.
Because it was like they was like, all right, you can do this shit or you can't. So it was like you had to have certain times, certain push-ups, certain shit like that to get to a certain point. So once I knew I was committed to that shit, it's a big test. So once I knew I was committed to that shit, I just did that shit. So when you got to E4, you got to the boat. When you got to the boat, it was like it was 6,000 other niggas. Mm-hmm. So now you in that bitch like. So
now you're in the joint.
Yeah. Now you got to get in there. So now,
fuck.
I come in there. I put my shit on the bottom rack. It's an empty rack. I put my shit on the bottom rack. When I put my shit on the bottom rack, the niggas who already been there, they coming in. They crunk as fuck. They lit. They stepping on my rack. Niggas get into it. So when we get into it, first day.
You got into it, niggas stepping on your rack.
I'm like, yo, I'm asleep. You niggas stepping on my shit. Woo, woo.
Say that shit again, bro.
Nigga, I get up.
Nigga ain't even allowed to sit on your bed.
Nigga, I get up. As soon as I get up, nigga, I put my boots on, put my back against the locker. I'm like, nigga, you step on my rack again.
You gotta see, we got it, yeah.
So I got a question for you, Mook. This is fucking movie shit probably or whatever. What bunk does a nigga? How do you choose your bunk? Because a lot of niggas say they want to sleep on the bottom bunk, not the top bunk.
Why?
And rolling me up.
Killed, yeah. I mean,
The bottom
stabbed
bunk
through the.
No.
I don't know.
The
Shit.
people who are worried about being stabbed like to sleep on a top bunk.
Really?
Yeah, because the bottom bunk is a trap. Because you're trapped inside of a cube.
Box.
So if they come to stab you, you can't get up too high. You know what I'm saying? You kind of just encased in that area. But on top, you could get up, stand up, kick a nigga, whatever you got to do. You got more lineage. Options. Yeah, and plus, if you got an older celly or something, you're going to give them, you're going to be the bottom bunk. Yeah, you could be an asshole and keep the bottom and make that nigga climb up. But get the bottom, bro. I'm 19. I could jump up here without getting on the chair. Like, you got to. Oh man, you know what I mean?
So it does. It's not politics with the bunks.
Yeah, it can be political. If me and you are in there now, if you're an old man, and you know what I'm saying now, who usually the person who had to sell first gets choice to the bunk.
Gotcha.
In the Navy, we lived in a cube. It was 3 beds. This room, half of this room, take half of this room away, and that's how the bed
3 beds was in.
So it was 3. This wall right here.
Yeah.
A bed up top, a bed in the middle, and a bed on the bottom.
Oh shit, that shit high.
A little aisle right here. Maybe the width of this table.
And then 3 more beds.
And then a bed at the top, a bed in the middle, a bed. So when you got a cube, it's a cube. Different. So when I walked in the cube, it's like, nigga, it's your cube. So if I walked in your cell, that's your hut. That's your shit. I can't just walk in your shit.
You gotta knock on. You can't even look in my window.
So boom. So
you gotta knock on my door without looking in my window.
So in the Navy, I created a curtain.
In the cell?
Yeah. You know what? In the Navy, I created a curtain. A curtain was, if my curtain was up, nigga.
Yeah, fact.
Hey, Mac, you in there? Yeah, it was good. I'm in there watching TV. I could be in there in my drawers. I could be in there, whatever the case may be. Nigga,
don't even knock on my door when it's signed up. Don't even knock.
And I took the middle rack. And if you had, there was the middle rack.
Halfway up, you could not.
The middle rack was the best
I want
rack.
some peace, but I'm not doing something. When I'm doing something, my sign all the way up.
So that had slids on the doors.
We made it with you could just people.
Okay.
You made that shit.
Just the window.
Yeah.
You can make.
You can
put
make
whatever you want.
I had somebody put a curtain and put CS2 McGee on my shit. So when I covered it,
how big was your window?
Maybe, probably like.
So you had prison windows. So there was like this thick and that like that long on the door. And what you do is get an old towel and you will bend the toothbrush and you shove it in there so you can just grab it and pull it up because it's stuck. The toothbrush is stuck in there in the towel. Then I got it's like a curtain. We call it the curtain. Like the nigga curtain up.
Yeah, shit.
I had so many different things. Like I had Velcro shit.
Yeah, niggas some niggas make signs, raw ass drawings, and it'd be like
do not disturb, motherfucker.
No, it'd be some raw shit. Sometimes it's just a fuck you, don't knock.
You just
never
know
what it's
like it's like the sock on the it's like the sock on the fucking door.
So what's the rule when the door is closed?
My rule is you don't even can't even look in someone's window.
You can't.
You gotta knock on my door to even look in my window.
Right?
There's a window that's
like
this.
So you're knocking like this.
No, you might got your back to the door like this.
Oh, okay.
You ain't just at the window like.
You ain't like how we
is. I got you.
You just minding your business like you at.
Yeah, like hey yo,
Mook.
Mook, you in that?
Because you in your private area.
Because if I'm in that, if I'm enclosed and my curtain look like this,
no, you just ain't moving it.
If I'm walking,
don't knock.
Hey, you can shout because it's open, so you can shout and be like, hey yo, hey Matt.
Okay.
Matt, because you can look. Our beds is connected, nigga. We sleeping like this.
Yeah.
Feel me? So like, I can look over your bed and be like, because they go up. They stack high.
One thing about like where I was at was you didn't want to spend too much time in your cell. Like, for instance, you didn't want to go to sleep during the middle of the day. Without somebody watching you. You know what I'm saying? So.
So you didn't want to sleep in your cell while niggas is out there.
Yeah, be functioning like in the military. In the military, ain't no.
They gonna catch you
naps.
sleeping.
Yeah, ain't no naps. Ain't no naps. You can't go be like, hey, I'm about to go take a nap.
You can't lock no door. You can't.
You better have. Y'all two niggas better just be looking like y'all chilling outside my cell while I'm in there catching
you better an hour. Hey, it better be like this. Hey man, I'm like way sleepy, bro. I'm about to go.
Yeah, come sit by my door for me. Like, nigga, what you doing?
In the service?
Sit by my door.
Because, like I said, in the service, I held a high position. Fuck. So I was kind of like up there. So niggas would come to me and be like, hey, man. Like, I was the only nigga in the service that used to put niggas on 8 off. Like, I used to have shifts. We work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's no days off when you're on deployment. Every day you get up, every day you go to sleep, it's the same thing. I didn't go to sleep like niggas. I had to make sure a meal was ready by 3:30 in the morning and it was cleaned up all the way by 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. You feel what I'm saying?
How do you go there and have the least hard job?
You have to either go straight out of school and do some school shit, be an 18 officer type shit.
How do you become? Well, your job was a cook.
Yeah, I was a cook.
What other jobs do they have?
Man, boats and you had.
What's the easiest job on a boat?
Cook.
You had the easiest job?
Probably.
It didn't sound easy.
Obviously, because you had to work your way up. Ain't nothing easy.
Oh, eventually became easy. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Everything it wasn't easy. Like, it took me a second.
Got you, yeah.
It took me a second to get to where the point where niggas was like, oh. But
fuck, Mook, what the fuck you did when you was tired, nigga?
Go to sleep.
Well, I did have niggas sit at my door a lot sometimes, and I wanted a nap. But I work.
Gotta go to sleep.
Day. You can get your Z's, but it's just, for instance, like you said, when the sign was all the way up, don't knock, don't even inquire. I could be in.
So you can close your door on your own.
Yeah, open and close it. Yeah,
is basic principles.
So the prison locks your doors.
No, at night only.
Cells is open. They open up at a certain. They open up at the time at
5 a.m.
when basically Reveille is, and they close when Taps is.
When what?
It's called Reveille.
What's that?
So Reveille is when it be like everybody in the military wakes up at this time across the world.
All right.
Everybody.
What time?
6 in the morning. You'll hear the whistle. You'll hear the whistle at 5:59. It'll be a nigga on there. My nigga, he played the game. I'm about to get on the game with him after this. He played the game. He do the whistle. He made his whistle. You get on the whistle. You wake us up in the morning, and it be like Reveille. All hands Reveille. That means everybody gotta get up. That means motion about the ship. That means if you get caught sleeping, captain's mask, going to jail.
Okay, so it's a little bit different than that, because you got a lot of self.
But that's only. You know but Reveille is to start the day. Everybody has to get up and start the day. Ain't no Saturday morning cartoons where you just sleep.
Well, and there you could, but you probably wouldn't. You could though if you wanted. You don't have to get up.
That's on a Sunday for us.
Don't want to.
That's a Sunday.
On a Sunday you don't got to get up. Yeah, if you don't want to, you can stay sleep all day. But like when but you do want to be aware.
The difference between I can't.
Yeah, I ain't sleeping.
But like when they say taps,
you ain't gonna really be.
When they say taps, and it's time to go to bed. Like when it's time to go to bed, they be like taps. They say the prayer. Motherfuckers say the prayer, whatever. Woo woo. After that, be like taps, and they cut all the lights out on the ship. But we don't gotta go to bed.
Right.
Niggas go play spades,
go down.
dominoes and shit like that. Like shit like that. Cause I'm still up working.
Don't get sick in the joint, then.
Medical.
I was in. I had caught staph infection.
Oh, this nigga.
While I was in the joint, Sally, we was in lockdown. The Mexicans had a big riot to kill one of them. So we was in like a month-long lockdown, and I got this little bump on my knee. And not to mention, my celly had already experienced like 2 of them under his armpit, so he was
getting bit by shit.
No, staph infections come from within.
Showers,
just dirty places. Yeah. They're on your body. It's on your body though, but nevertheless, I ended up getting a little bump during the lockdown. Nigga, it was just a small little pimple, right? So I put a little Band-Aid on it. I didn't think nothing of it, and then it turned into like this big, and then it felt tender. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is this, bro? So next thing you know, it's getting a little bigger and bigger, and then next thing you know, that shit, my whole knee locked up. I couldn't even move the bone in my knee. I was stuck, bro. And I was calling the nurses. They couldn't let me out to treat me, so they treated me through the door, bro, through the slot. They made me self-treat. So when I ended up working in the medical with the nurses, they was like, I remember you to do that to treat your own staph infection through the door. Wow, you bitches.
How the fuck you treat that?
They didn't. They just, you had to pop it, pack it a little bit. Yeah, drain it, pack it a little bit.
So they gave you a little needle or so, or they popped it with a needle?
No, they gave me a little thing I had to do it myself. But they would come through the door like this and try to help me and shit. But mostly I self-treated. They gave me the stuff when they left. They're like, here you go.
Shit crazy, man.
Yeah, it was.
So
crazy.
the moral of the story is not to get locked up for nothing.
Yeah, that was my first day, but you shouldn't have a first day.
And you should not
have facts.
Don't have a first day.
Don't have a first day, a bad first day, like jail.
Yeah, have a good first
and
day.
then in the military, bro, that's your choice. It's your choice.
Do you recommend?
Yeah, if you
somebody going to the military,
I'm gonna say this: out here in this world,
for experience, or
if you are 18 and you have no financial responsibility, and you are, living at home with your parents and stuff like that, and you don't want to go to school ain't your thing. Take 4 years, go sign up for the military, get a little structure, get a little discipline, and in 4 years, you ain't gonna have to worry about paying for house, and education, and all that. That's the only benefits. If you can do 4 years of just getting to the benefits, you good. Some niggas take 4 and turn it into 20. Some niggas take 4 and turn it into 8. It all depends upon
different strokes for
different strokes for different folks. But what I can say is the benefits of the military is this: you're gonna get 3 square meals a day.
You're gonna get Camaro.
You're gonna get a Camaro, Charger, tattoos, Jordans.
Yeah, silly.
The benefits from the military, for real, when you first get in there, number one, don't think it's pay, because you're gonna be broke as shit. The best part is you're gonna travel places you probably ain't never been.
That'd be fire. That's the only positive.
You did because you was in the Navy.
That's even
in the Army.
Well, they get stationed. You go way more places than an average Army person.
No. Well, I traveled around the world.
Right. One Army nigga will go to one base and stay there.
That's true.
You got the world. You got to go everywhere.
But in that one settlement too, it was my cousin. He's in the Army. He been to Europe, Germany. Like,
why?
Just because that's where you get stationed. That's where you pick up your billets. Your first billet in the military. Yeah. Your first billet is they tell you.
Okay.
Like, hey, you going here
for how long?
4 years.
That's a long time to be in one place.
That's what I'm saying.
You wasn't in one place for 4 years.
Yeah, I was. I was in Cali.
Well, when did you start going everywhere?
Through deployment is why I went. So it wasn't like I was just in Cali. Yes, my home base, I was stationed in Cali. My wife and kids, my son was born in Cali.
So your ship never went somewhere and just docked there for a long time?
I was around the world. I went on deployment for 14 and a half months. So I was in Italy, Australia.
So if an Army person goes on deployment, where do they go?
They go to wherever
they send them.
So Iraq. I got my boy Joe. I work with. He went to Iraq.
He's gonna stay in Iraq.
He's in Iraq.
During your 14 months, where did you go?
Cali. I went to Bahrain, Dubai.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You well traveled. But in that sense, though, when you in the military, it's not for sure that you're going. Oh, you about to go to Iraq? You can go to Virginia, then go to Washington, then you go to over here, then you go to Germany, then you go to Bahrain.
Why?
The billets. It's
what
a billet.
That?
A billet is a job. So in the military, when you're in the military, you are signed a billet. You fill a billet. We need Mook, O, and Mac at Broadway Fire Station. This is the billet we need to fill. We need a second class, a first class, and a third class. Just so happen you a first class, I'm a second, and he a third. All 3 of us is going to that billet for X amount of years.
Okay.
So then you station there, and then after that, you just go to the next billet. You pick your billet after that. All right, man, you know what, man? I got kids over in Texas. You know what? I'm about to pick. I'm about to go to Dallas.
But you got to do a 4-piece
But you got to do wherever they tell you first.
And that's a 4-piece, ain't it?
That's a
so
gripper.
It's a 4, yeah. So, but see, the thing is, where people can get fucked up is people would be like, all right, I'm about to go, and I'm about to go, and then they give them shore duty.
Yeah,
that's where you get fucked up at.
What's shore duty?
Fuck, don't give me shore duty.
Oh, on the Navy?
Yeah.
Oh, so you ain't going nowhere.
So you ain't going nowhere. You just chilling. 4 years, you gonna be chilling. You could do a lot of shit in 4.
But you ain't traveling on that
boat. You ain't going nowhere. And then they gonna tell you this. Oh man, yeah, I did my 4 years. I'm ready to get out. They gonna look at you and be like, nah, man. We need 4 years active sea duty.
So that's not active?
No.
Or is it just not
shore
active
duty? Is you just chilling.
So how do you get not fucked?
You gotta go in there and tell them niggas basically be like, all right, I wanna go, I wanna go here. So you pick your job, you pick that shit. I was like, oh, I wanna be a cook. The reason why I wanted to be a cook is because you supply people with shit. It's easy to supply people with shit. That means if I'm doing this stretch over here for 4 years, eventually if I get good at my job, somebody's gonna need me for something.
Right.
I'm not gonna be a boatswain's mate where I'm just painting the ship and shit. Who the fuck gonna need a boat? I don't need you to paint shit. What the fuck I'm gonna need you to paint shit for?
Somebody got to paint, bro.
Somebody do got to paint, but what I need you, I got a cubicle.
Don't be talking about the painters like
Just
that.
saying. I'm just saying. So why not not be a cook?
The painter
or
what I've learned, don't go in talking about I can fucking paint.
Shit, you gotta be a painter.
But it is some niggas that go in there like my nigga. He a SEAL now.
But I'm sure they could probably grow in that field.
Yeah, you can go. You can go and
wait.
grow.
So you ain't a SEAL? No, I'm just fucking. Just talking shit.
Too much. That nigga was.
And then imagine him like, yeah, nigga, hold on.
Nigga, I
I can tell you all about Hell Week.
My one nigga came in there. His sole mission was to find lost explosives and shit. That's what he did.
From his ABVAB?
He
From the gate?
He came in there. He came in there.
High.
He failed in the SEAL shit. And once you fail in the SEAL shit, they kick you out and they just put you back into the Navy.
Right.
So you pick up a rate. So most rates is easy to pick up. Everybody just pick up CS because it's easy.
What's a rate?
A rate is what they rank you at, what they put you as. It's your job. So my rate was a culinary specialist.
So before I decided to go to try to be a Navy SEAL, I was already.
He was already something. Yeah.
So I'm just
go in. It's called undes. It's like niggas going to college. They be undecided. I don't know what I want to do. So you just go to college.
Yeah.
It's like that. You in the military, they gonna accept you because they need bodies. So it's called undes.
But you still haven't fully committed to
so you haven't
something
fully
yet.
committed. You haven't struck a rate. So once you strike a rate, that's what they call it, striking. So
and how do you initiate that?
So what happens is they get into the Navy and they put you in there. So if you undes, they're gonna automatically put you with the niggas who fix the ship and clean up shit and do all the lower end. So
that sound like the joint. It was called something else though. It was where they send you work for the institution. You got to cut the grass. The electricians are there.
Them niggas that paint the ship. They paint the ship. They put all the fuel and shit in there.
When you don't really decide, when you let them place you or you don't get a job and they place you, they always put you up in that spot, bro. Everyone goes there. You don't want to go. I got took out of there to the nurses spot. I was so happy, bro.
At that moment right there, you struck a rate. So niggas would get put in them positions and they'd be like, yo, I can't wait to strike. Hey Mac, get me. Come on, man.
So now
I've been doing this shit for 6 months, man.
So they think that you're more focused on what you want to do now. Yeah. You're not undecided no more.
But then they'll just tell you it's called needs to the Navy. Wherever the Navy needs you, they'll put you there. Okay. You at their mercy.
So you can get fucked at.
Okay, so once you strike a rate.
Once you strike a rate, now you chilling with me. Now I'm the galley soup. I'm the person that's in charge of 670.
I struck a rate doing what?
So you a cook now.
Oh, I found the job being a cook.
It's paperwork you file. So you go in there and say, you know what? This is what I want to do now. This is what I want to pick. All right. So when you go strike the rate, we say, okay, we got room for
you. How do I tell them I don't want to be over there no? I don't want to paint no more.
They see that you undes or whatever, and then you go down to the personnel department, and then you go in and you initiate the paperwork from there.
Got you.
So then
how long can you stay undes for?
Oh, niggas undes right now.
Chilling, just chilling.
There's niggas that's just undes.
You getting rank?
You can get rank. But
still
you won't
go
get
on as your normal.
Yeah, you'll go on, but then they'll after a while they'll just put you as, if you go on, they'll just put you as a BM.
What's that?
Boatswain's mate, the nigga who fixed the boat and do all that shit.
I ain't doing all that.
So you'll just be that, and then you'll strike a rate, and then they'll switch you over to a CS, whatever.
Can you stay down there in a higher position?
Yeah, you could be it's top chiefs
painter?
and officers and all types of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
It's motherfuckers who run the division.
That's the only way I'm staying there.
A couple of them.
Like for me, I was a CS. I was just a regular old CS. But then when they start saying that, okay, he that nigga, this, that, and the third, they was like, okay, give him 1 kitchen, give him 2 kitchens. Oh, now he got 3. Oh, everybody.
Man, how many kitchens is there?
5 and 8 freezers.
You don't feel weird? Never mind.
What?
I'm tripping. I thought this. I need to smoke, man. I think this nigga was on the submarine. I'm like, you don't feel weird in the submarine?
No, it's close quarters like that,
though. But yeah, the close quarters.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's weird. You ain't got no privacy.
Yeah,
it's nothing you can really.
You can't go nowhere. You're on water, bro.
It is, but
can't leave
if you at the bottom, ain't shit for you. If you at my level where I was at, nigga, I had storerooms.
Your life is different.
It was totally different. It was like, but in the beginning though, it was like, hey, where
you was a regular nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hey, where y'all niggas You look like a desperate nigga. He said, hey, that's crazy.
Hey, no, to be so real, you know, you was talking about earlier when you was like, when your mans came and he was like, you know what I'm saying? I got you, my nigga.
Facts.
I did my boot camp stretch with a guy, and he left before me.
Oh, so he was already there. He knew the ropes.
He was there before me.
Right.
So he gets there, and I'm chilling, and it's one of them things like. It was my guy for 6 months in boot camp. Yeah. So it's like, hey man, we drinking, we smoking, we going to get our hair cut together, we smoking Black and Mild, we vibing, we hooping and shit.
Where?
This is in Virginia.
On the ship?
Nah, this is on the ground. I haven't got placed yet.
But you're not in boot camp no more.
I'm not in boot camp no more.
Where do you go at? Where's that place?
It's in Fort Lee, Virginia. I would wake up.
You could have went anywhere though?
No, they put you there. That was my C school. I had to go learn. You know how you just did your class? I had to go do that shit.
Okay.
They put me at that shit. Yeah, so when they do that shit or whatever, boom, you down.
Do everybody go there?
Everybody has a C school. Everybody.
Wait, so they don't all go to the same C school?
It's different. Everybody's all over. All they send you everywhere, anywhere.
That was your C school.
That was just my C school. So I was there. So that was my man.
How long was you in boot camp?
8 weeks, and then I did 6 months.
Was it long?
No.
It don't seem like it.
No,
would be that
you know what? The longest part about boot camp, real quick. The longest part about boot camp was the swim part, because I can swim like a mother. I can swim like it, but when they throw you off the little 50-foot diving board and put you in that motherfucker, and you gotta float, you gotta do all that shit. That shit's
they ain't got no bell like motherfucking Hell Week. We could just tap out.
Yeah,
like I quit. Boom boom.
So
I ain't jumping off of that.
So this is what happens. So you go through. So you go through boot. You go through boot camp.
Throw me
You
off.
have to throw me off.
So you go through boot camp.
Lost me.
You do
So wait, when you go to boot camp, you get out. You graduate.
You don't. When you graduate, that's Hell Week in one day. They keep you up for 24 hours and put you through 13, 14 different obstacles. Like
that makes
sense to me. You be in a room and the bitch catch fire. You be in a room and the bitch, like we in a room right now, the bitches catch fire, and we got to get out. Then we be in a room and the motherfucker fill up with water, and you got to stop the leak and get out. The room actively filling up with water, and you got to stop the leak, put the Jubilee patch on, brace it,
Do we have
clamp
to
it.
stop it? Can we just get out?
Nah, fuck. It's like an escape room.
I just want to get out. Yeah.
But if you fail, like it comes to a certain level, boom, then you up. But everybody has a chance to be the leader. So it's so many people.
Really?
So everybody had in every mission. So it was one mission where motherfuckers was in there, and nigga, I was too tall, so I couldn't be the leader.
Is this an area in?
It's a makeshift ship.
Oh, and they're putting you through scenarios.
Yeah, and you got to go in there, and it's like the one shit.
How many of y'all in the room?
It's like it'd be like 14.
And it looks like.
It's like a regular. It's like this, and next thing you know, this wall fall down, that wall fall down, this bitch catch fire, and now we gotta get out.
Y'all gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you gotta get out. And you basically up for 24 hours. And at the end, everybody is all you soaking wet from shit.
Clapping and shit.
Everybody clapping, and they play proud to be American and shit. And they give you a fucking cap, and they be like, "Congratulations, you." And the whole time I'm in there on some spook by the door shit. Like I'm only here because all my niggas kept
spook by the door shit.
Yeah, I'm only here.
Oh,
so then when you get in there, then it be cool. Then after that,
once you get rolling, you roll.
Yeah, once you get in there,
anywhere kind of right.
It don't matter where you at. And once you get in the swing of things, you just live by that shit. You cool and you
fuck the wall and the water and fucking get the fuck out.
After that, that's like
I get it because I'm finna be surrounded by water. So I want.
No, that shit whack.
It sound whack.
It shit whack. It's depressing.
It sounds like a way out if you don't have one.
That's all it was. It was like if you ain't got no way out, it'll get you eventually looking out the back of that bow. I started seeing something different, and it wasn't me being in the Navy.
So there was less patience.
And I got locked up in the Navy.
So that's a whole nother story.
So that's way no. That's too much.
We can get back to that by next time.
That's Mook part 2. Mook joins the pod part 2.
Yeah, that's too much.
That was. No, I heard that story.
Yeah, wow.
That adds on to the story.
But other than that, being in there the first day is like it is what it is. So it's kind of not like how yours is. Like after a while, it's like what it is.
You do got to experience. You coming into a culture shock because now you gotta adhere to authority.
That's the main
on both
thing.
Sides, and you gotta understand discipline.
2 ways.
You know what I'm saying? Either way, you're gonna authority is gonna be pushed on you.
Because those principles that you gotta live by them people telling you what to do, and then the people you live with telling you what to do is 2 totally different. Right. That shit 2 totally different things, bro. You gotta be straight and narrow over here, but crooked and straight at the same time over here because you dealing with. It's the same motherfuckers.
If I had the choice, My friend always tell me like, you're one of the most disciplined people I ever met. You've been perfect for the service. You've been perfect for the army. I could fast. I could do everything. I got really good discipline. And I always think to myself, but that came from being in prison. Because the similarities I've experienced a lot of times where I had to remain disciplined. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I said, prison and the military has a lot of similarities.
Even the jargon.
So I'm saying,
the commissary you was talking about earlier, just the jargon of it, and they use some of the same terms.
Like you niggas don't realize, like especially being
it's
different in the military, but like it's different in the Navy, but like it's really like 23-1. It's really.
You know what else about that? Is that you laying in there in the bunk or your cube and you like, I signed up for this shit.
Man, the whole time.
That might be
the whole time I'm sitting over here like, I made this motherfucker.
A little bit worse.
You got this, and then you sitting over here. I'm 26 years old, right? And I'm laying over there. I'm like, man, $700 check. Bullshit.
I go ring the bell.
Get the fuck up out of here. Like, fuck, I'm about to fuck this shit.
But by that time, you so far in it.
Then you sit back, right? And you hear this little 18-year-old motherfucker over there crying.
That's what I was gonna say. Like for you, it's probably a little bit. Was it easier being so old, like being older?
Way easier because you see, so and like it helps when you live a certain lifestyle as far as like with
not being
certain
spooked.
knowledge. Like if you got certain knowledge about certain shit, you kind of can see bullshit and be looking at niggas like every nigga come with the made up tough story.
So you still got to use a lot of, even though you in a place like that, even a government organization, you still got to use your intuition and awareness.
And that's never gonna. Human nature, I think, for that shit
and all that shit.
Yeah, but some people lack a lot of
the same fucking principles as you will move out here.
Right.
The same. You're not about to go and just step on a nigga's shoe. You're not about to go, but it is some niggas who just step on niggas' shoes for a living. Certain niggas that do that
movie when they beat the nigga with the soap and shit. That was one of my favorite movies too.
Jarhead or whatever the fuck it was called or whatever.
Yeah, beat the nigga in the bathroom stall or whatever.
I don't know.
Saving Private Ryan.
Save it, whatever it was. But it was principles.
I don't know what it was.
It was principles like that. Niggas
Private Ryan is
niggas being there telling
the nigga that played in Forrest Gump, right?
Catch a nigga.
Was that nigga in Saving Private Ryan?
I think he was.
He was in Saving Ryan's Private.
This nigga weird.
What's the outro?
Yeah. You know what time it is?
I want to hit that nigga with a pause on that one. Pause, man.
Yo, bro, this nigga crazy.
I usually that's the pause move. That's the only one we give you today.
But in there, niggas beat niggas up.
That's a good way to That's good shit.
But this was a good episode, man. 2 hours of them things, man.
Oh, that is funny.
This nigga gotta go to work tomorrow.
I gotta take my daughter to this school.
This nigga gotta go to school. I don't gotta do shit. I'm about to jump on this K.
No.
Fuck it.
I'm about to jump on this K.
Mook came through, man.
My nigga Mook came through.
I prepared myself to fucking have this long ass fucking conversation anyway.
We knew it was gonna be some time.
It's fine, yeah.
I need to sit down. Hey, thanks for having me though. I really
nah, for sure. You gotta come back though, man.
For sure.
We do gotta have another one. We're gonna start a little earlier. We rendezvous for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wasted 2 hours.
We wasted 2, damn near 2. But
it was a great conversation,
especially for the we winged it. We just winged it.
Because I had a whole different.
We didn't even get to finish what we was even
really.
Yeah, but we got more.
It's way more, man. Let's talk about the podcast, man. With man Mac and Oski, man, and our special guest Mook Red, man. We were just talking about being first day in, first day out.
I want the youth to on a serious note before we get out of here. The story is like, I hate to say it's probably the average story right now. The way shit is fucking
shaking up out here in these streets,
at least from where I guess we come from, unfortunately. So I do want the youth to fucking listen. We're gonna try and I'm gonna promote it I'm gonna promote to the youth. You know what I mean? But these are topics that
should be heard,
and I commend you for even talking about it. Most niggas don't even want to fucking relive that shit. Don't even want to.
They don't
you know
care
what I'm saying?
They don't care to.
Like fuck that. That's too much traumatized. So that's I commend you for coming on here and being open and transparent about that shit.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
So with that being said, y'all know how we do it every time on the Let's Talk About a podcast with your boy
Mac Daddy, let me get it started. Talk my shit better.
Let's go, man.
We're gonna play this Rich Homie Quan from his new joint, Family and Moolah. Rich Homie Quan's Bigger Jeans featuring No Cap.